Thanks, Chris. Welcome to sold-out Lambeau Field for a big battle between fierce rivals. Warren Sapp and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers.
Warren Sapp.
What a great player. So explosive, so quick, and so powerful. It spells disaster.
Brett Favre is the best quarterback in the NFL, no doubt.
Brett Favre and Warren Sapp are in pursuit of the same prize. Their passion unbridled, their wills unmatched.
You see the emotions out there, they're real, because no one likes to be beat up. No one likes to lose. No one likes to start bleeding. The journey is the reward, and I believe that. It's not the destination. It's the journey.
Favre throws a touchdown!
Well, give me a chance to hunt my old buddy. So, I hadn't hunted a quarterback in 2 weeks almost, so that's a long time for me. I got to get close up and see what he smells like.
The Bucs have experienced a decade-long drought when it comes to winning in Lambeau. Now they look to break the spell of Favre and the Pack on a momentous night in Green Bay.
Birthday boy.
I've always said to be the best, you have to beat the best. He's been the best for about 4 or 5 years.
Mentally, I think I put more into it this year than I ever had before. Physically, I don't think I can.
It's going to be tough, and we realize that, but we always felt like this ball club was built for 60 minutes. And if we take them deep into the fourth quarter, and we got a shot to knock them out, we're going to knock them out.
It's the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on ESPN Sunday Night Football. Green Bay's Lambeau Field on a perfect night for football. Every game here has been a sellout since 1960. And tonight, the usual 60,000 are on hand for the Battle of the Bays. The Packers and the Bucs on Reggie White night in Lambeau. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick, along with Joe Theismann and Paul McGuire. It's great to have you with us. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers come in here tonight a somewhat disappointing 2-2. Disappointing because they have the #1 rated defense in the NFL. And Joe, 5 weeks into the season, they still don't have that offense cranked up.
Mike, haven't we heard this story before? Defense leads the Bucs. This is a football team that's not been able to score 20 points in their first 4 games this year. If they want to run the football tonight, I don't think they're going to have success with all stat and done. I believe it's going to have to fall on the shoulders of Trent Dilfer. He's going to be the guy that's going to have to make plays. This football team is going to have to put the ball down the field, not just on downs when they need a first down, but on 1st and 10. And then if they do get the lead and they want to run it, then you'll see Dunn and Allstott.
The Packers, of course, come in 2-1 thanks to a pair of dramatic last-second wins engineered by their all-everything quarterback, Brett Favre. He is 30 years old today, and now more than ever, they count on his wonderful record at quarterback.
Michael, and obviously we have not seen the dominant Packer offense so far this year. And talking to Antonio Freeman, a great wide receiver yesterday, he said, we have not yet played a good game. But because they have Brett Favre, the best player in the National Football League, they've been able to win. Tonight they're going against the #1 defense in the National Football League. It's going to be difficult for the Packers to run. It all may be on the shoulders of Brett Favre again tonight, which could give them the best chance to win.
All right, Paul, and Brett knows who's waiting. Pro Bowl tackle Warren Sapp looking to personally extend his own birthday wish. It's all next on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
It starts with Texas Instruments programmable DSP. It's the power for the smartest cell phones and internet access to the latest digital sound. And when new generations evolve, rather than retool or replace, we can simply reprogram. The new frontier is no longer out there. It's here. Hardware, software, and open thinking. From the world leader in DSP and analog, Texas Instruments.
How did UPS become the official express delivery sponsor of the NFL? Well, let's just say they put us through a very challenging drill. For the earliest next-day delivery, count on the same people the NFL does. UPS.
It's Watch live. It's now Enhanced TV. Log on to ESPN.com and NFL.com while you watch the telecast.
Back at Lambeau Field, the Buccaneers and the Packers. Let's check in with Solomon Wilcox.
Thanks, Mike. Tony, for the second straight week, you're on the road against one of the top opponents in the division. What do you expect from your team tonight, and what will they prove in this game?
Well, we've got to prove something to ourselves. We went to Minnesota last week, and we really didn't play in the first quarter, and that was pretty much the game. We got to show we can go out and play a great team on the road and beat them.
Now, Warren Sapp will play, but he'll wear a cast on that broken left hand. Will you try to do anything different with him tonight?
We're going to see what he can do. He may be able to just go on passing situations. We're not sure, but we're going to start him and see how effective he can be.
All right, thanks, Tony. Well, Tampa will have their starting wide receiver, Bertie Manuel. He was listed as questionable before tonight's game with a pulled hamstring. He will start. As for the Packers, well, they will be without their starting defensive tackle, Santana Dotson. He is out with a pinched nerve in his neck. And, Mike, the Buccaneers, they're going to need all they can get. They have yet to win a game here at Lambeau Field since 1989.
All right, Solomon, a pair of division rivals ready to get it on tonight. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on ESPN's Sunday Night Football.
Shannon Sharp, please, has always talking trash.
You're paying, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorn, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm...
How diversified is your portfolio?
We created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a P/E ratio, you divide the stock price.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. A sellout crowd, 60,790 on hand for Reggie White night. At halftime of tonight's game, they will retire his jersey. The man that changed the face of free agency and, in the process, Green Bay.
With all those sacks, he changed the face of a lot of quarterbacks, too. They went, ouch, all those grimaces you saw. Those were, Reggie was responsible for them.
192.5 career sacks. Only one other man in history has more than 150. That's Bruce Smith.
You know, and when you talk to people about him and you ask the most memorable thing about Reggie White, everybody has something different to say.
He was out earlier, really got this crowd fired up. The Packers will kick to start the ball game. Hope Reggie gets a cut of that. Ryan Longwell to kick. Riddell Anthony. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line. The Bucs offense has Trent Dilfer at quarterback. Last week he threw for over 300 yards for the first time in 3 years. This is a running team with Dunn and Mike Allstott, 7th in the conference in rushing. The receivers, Anthony, Emmanuel, and Moore. The offensive line has Gruber, Diaz, Tony Mayberry, who was named to the last 2 Pro Bowls, Middleton, and Wunsch. You won't be able to tell it at home because the cameras are so sophisticated, but it is really dark here tonight. We can certainly see the shadows of the players on the field. It's a little tough to pick out certain guys. Empty backfield. Dilfer to throw on first down to Anthony to the 25-yard line. The Packers defense has Booker, Lyon, Gilbert Brown, the key to the run defense, and Holiday. The linebackers, Kuntz, Harris, and Brian Williams, who is the leading tackler on the club and has become a tremendous playmaker. Youth in the secondary with McKenzie and Williams. Leroy Butler, the only veteran and a 4-time Pro Bowler, along with Sharper at safety. Leroy, number 36, loves to blitz. check in with Solomon Wilcutt. Solomon, what do you have?
Yeah, Mike, down here on the field, the lights here at Lambeau Field do appear to be darker than what is normal for a night game. Now, before the game, during pregame warm-ups, players on both sides were dropping a lot of balls. And, you know, I talked to wide receiver Jaquez Green before the game. He told me that it is indeed darker in here tonight, and he's having problems seeing the ball.
Well, we'll see if that has any effect as the game goes along.
Packers are totally confused on defense.
It's 3rd and 2. They're out of the eye. Allstott the deep man, and Dilfer has to use a timeout. It looked like the Bucs were confused too.
Well, I think what they had on the field confused him. He was expecting something else, and the Packers were getting guys on and off, and he took a timeout.
He's got Leroy Butler up in one of the guard tackle gaps, which is not a place you'd expect him to be, and I'm certain that he wanted to audible to run. I'm not a big fan in 3rd and short of coming to the line of scrimmage and giving your quarterback a chance to look around. I think you call a play when you've got Mike Allstott in the backfield. Watch here, right? You'll see to the right, number 7, just over the guard, you see Leroy Butler, and there he is. And Dilfer has to call timeout.
That may be the earliest timeout in the history of the National Football League. 13:31 to go in the first quarter.
I don't think it would scare me, though, as a lineman if I see Leroy Butler right up inside on the guard.
I agree, Paul. You made the point. I think it confused Trent to the point where he wanted to try and get a play there. I don't like options in 3rd and 1. They're attitude plays. You line up, you blow them off the ball, and you go. It's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. You just, if you're going to run it, do it.
Especially with a guy like Allstott at 260 pounds. Dilfer's record against the Packers, 2-6, 4 touchdowns, but 10 picks. 3rd and 2, 2 tight ends out of the eye. Allstott. He's short of the ESPN 1st and 10 line.
Terrific play by Darren Sharper, number 42. He just comes up and manages to get Allstott right around the ankles and stop him from getting the first down.
Number 51, Brian Williams, is the linebacker. Watch him slide and then force the play. He takes on the blocker in the hole, gets back up. That's McLeod, the new guy they added, number 43, takes him on and then makes the tackle. You know what another one I don't like, Joe? Why go with a guy like Allstott? Why take him wide? If you're I mean, this guy's a load. Take him up the middle.
I don't think there was any place to go, Paulie. I think that's why. Actually, Green Bay did exactly what they wanted to do. They stuffed the middle and spilled them outside where the linebackers and the defensive backs could make some plays for Ray Rhodes' ball club.
Mark Royals is on to punt, and Desmond Howard makes his return to the Green Bay Packers this year. In '96, he was sensational, the MVP of Super Bowl 31. Then on to Oakland, where he did not succeed, and now he's back 4th in the conference in punt returns coming into this game. Beautiful kick by Royals. Howard at the 22, and a 3-yard return to the 25. The Green Bay offense, led by Brett Favre, the NFL's 3-time MVPs, brought them from behind 2 of the first 3 games. In the backfield, Dorsey Levens, 4th in the conference in rushing. Henderson, Schrader, Freeman, and Davis, the tight end. Up front, Verba, Wall, Frank Winters, who was hurt much of last year after making the Pro Bowl in '97, Rivera, and Dotson.
He's the old birthday boy.
30 years old, and he says it's a little harder to get out of bed every morning. Movement up front, maybe a free play for Favre. Intended for Schrader. Flag is down. Schrader somehow made the catch. Barber was back there along with Robinson. The ball appeared to hit one of them, and Schrader came down with it, a gain of 51.
Probably offsides against Tampa Bay or encroachment.
Looked like Culpepper jumped early.
There were 2 fouls on the defense. Offside, number 99. Pass interference, number 20. Both fouls are declined. The Pass is complete for a first down.
You know, I thought that Culpepper made contact with the center winner. Now, if he does that, the play should stop. If he touches him, which he does not. Okay.
Well, they said it was Warren Sapp. It was Culpepper, 77.
And Schrader goes up. Look at him go up and make a play on the ball. That's just going up, using your height. Billy Schrader, 6'3", goes up and gets it.
Favre to throw, under a lot of pressure. Was he down? No. Got rid of it under a lot of heat from Chidi Ahanatu.
I'll tell you what, there are not, well, I don't think there's anybody in football that can do what Favre just did. Going the other way and throw the ball about 25 yards.
When you're
Chidi Ahanatu, look at here. He gets him to the outside. He's got him. Look at this. Watch his throw.
I guess you got to wonder, was the knee down?
You make that kind of throw, they give it to him.
I think so.
He should.
Three-time MVP. He'll get anything he wants.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to challenge this. And the reason why is when you look at this play again, you're going to see if Brett Favre's knee is down for a big sack. They might. Well, let me see. Oh, I got a call.
Loaf of bread and a quart of milk.
Yeah. Tell you, we saw some games today. They used it a few times and it worked.
It's reversed some major calls, had critical importance in ball games, and now Tony Dungy talking to Phil Luckett.
I want you to take a look at Favre's knee. This is what I want to look at. Watch his right knee right down there. Take a look. Does the knee hit the ground? Actually, the knee is laying on the ground.
Yeah, he's down.
Right down here. The knee's laying on the ground, and he still has the ball.
Now, keep this in mind. Tony Dungy has had no luck with instant replay this year. He's probably the one coach in the entire league who's going to say, this doesn't work for me.
Well, you know, that is so close with that ball coming out.
Is it reviewable?
I'm assuming it is because they're talking about it.
It is reviewable.
There's such a laundry list of what is, might, possibly, could be. We think about it. Sometimes you wonder.
You know, you have mellowed in your age. You jump right out and say, hey, that's not reviewable, or it is. But you're kind of laying back. Yeah, just taking it easy now.
When you turn 30, you do that.
Now, here's the odd part of this. If he had been ruled down by contact, it wouldn't have been reviewable. That's but right. Because he wasn't, it is.
That was the point I was trying to get to.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So Tony Dungy wants the yards on the sack.
I think the first thing that comes to someone's mind, they say, why would he want to review it here? Because it would put them in a second down and 20, move the field goal kicker back potentially if you tried one, and give you some more options on defense.
Plus, Tony Dungy knows the history of this series as well as anybody. He needs every edge he can get coming into Lambeau Field.
He's also light about 10 grand from the first game against the Giants when he wasn't real pleased with what he saw.
.25 seconds left in the challenge. The official, once he goes under that hood, has 90 seconds before the screen goes black. Once that happens, the play on the field stands as called.
Once that happens, there's no reason for him to stay underneath there.
No, you wouldn't think so.
Take one more look. Watch his right knee. His right knee is down on the ground, in my opinion, obviously, before he unloads the football.
We're at 1:30. Will he find enough evidence to overturn it or let the call stand? As we understand it, once you pass 1:30,
I saw it in a game earlier today.
You can't overturn it.
I saw it in a game earlier today.
They were almost to 3 minutes.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. The pass was incomplete before the knee touched the ground. Second down.
Tony Dungy at the next league meeting is going to say, what was this for?
I think Tony's going to get another phone call. I don't know what he was looking at, to be perfectly honest with you, because they see the same replays that you see at home and we see here. I'm as surprised as Tony is.
And remember, just one other important thing, he does lose a timeout.
That means they have used 2 timeouts in 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the first quarter.
That was when the call was made initially, and then the ruling he can't believe either.
The officials tell us it was an inconclusive replay.
Don't look at me, Paul.
I didn't think they had that
I
one
thought you
anymore.
and I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
After the ruling, it is 2nd and 10, just an incomplete pass. Dorsey Evans inside the 20. The Bucs live off their defense. Up front, Ahanotu, Culpepper, all-pro Warren Sapp, who missed last week with a broken hand, and Jones. The linebackers have exceptional speed. Quarles, Nickerson, and Derek Brooks, a 2-time Pro Bowler and leading tackler. The secondary, Abraham, Barber, John Lynch, who may be the hardest hitting defensive back in the game, and Robinson. Warren Sapp, his battles with Brett Favre are legendary. They really love to go after each other, and the level of respect is incredible. Favre, good protection. Touchdown. Antonio Freeman picked it off the turf. Will they challenge this one?
Brian Kelly winds up with Antonio Freeman in coverage. Freeman does a good job at the line getting around. Once he gets on top of Brian Kelly, he does not have a chance. Now, does that ball hit the ground? From that angle, you can't quite tell because Antonio's body is in the way. That ball hits the ground.
That's close, boy.
That ball hits the ground. I don't know if Tony wants to go for a double. He's got to do it.
Now they're blowing the play dead.
There's a flag on the play. They're not blowing it dead. They're blowing it dead because of the flag. Movement on the Packers.
The snap. False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
Earl Dotson, the right tackle. Take a look at the play.
Watch his hands. Now, that one you can't quite tell it hits the ground. Right here. I want you to look at right there. That ball's on the ground right there.
But both of his hands, what they're looking at is both hands are underneath the ball.
No way.
So they go for the point after, no challenge. Way. And Ryan Longwell knocks it through. What an odd start to this ball game. 7-0 Green Bay.
Please welcome the Executive Vice President of West Coast Operations, Steve Doppold.
The year 2000 Corolla. Millennium-proof dependability.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm calling long distance with one of those 1010 numbers. Makes you crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's not.
It'll make you nuts. But with the new AT&T one-rate 7-cent plan, calls are just 7 cents a minute.
Yeah, but you can only call at certain times, right?
7 cents a minute all day, every day.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week? That's simple.
Yes, it is.
So I don't have to use those 1010 numbers ever again?
No, you don't.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
When the Blues enter Hockey Town, they will be looking at Iserman and Fedorov on the ice, and a lot of banners in the rafters. Blues Red Wings, Wednesday at 8 on ESPN.
These overhead shots provided by the Dell Aerial Cam high above Green Bay, Wisconsin for ESPN Sunday Night Football. A gorgeous night in Wisconsin. And historic Lambeau Field, 7-0 Green Bay. Riddell Anthony from the 2. To the 15. ESPN Sunday Night Football continues next week with the high-flying Washington Redskins. Brad Johnson leads the NFL's most potent attack into the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Join Joe, Paul, and me right after prime time at 8:15 Eastern. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for primetime NFL football. The Bucs down early. Allstott goes out in the slot. Warrick Dunn, the running back. Warrick Dunn slips a tackle to the 23, maybe the 24.
Well, they came out and threw a couple times. And they went right back to what they do best.
But what they did is they spread the formation, Paul. You had everybody spread out. You got Warrick Dunn back there. Mike Shula wants to throw the football. As a matter of fact, last week when they got behind Minnesota, their game plan actually was to open up the game, even if they hadn't got behind by so much.
And Trent Dilfer threw for over 300 yards for the first time in 3 years. Dunn and Allstott in the backfield together. Allstott. You can't get him with an arm tackle. He is just too strong and too good a runner. Brian Williams catches him downfield.
Everybody's talking about how Gilbert Brown has changed this year, playing better, making speeches. Well, watch number 93. You want to see some penetration, folks? This is what you call penetration. To the back, and all you got to do now is make the tackle.
Here comes the blitz. Dilfer has it picked off by Tyrone Williams. He had excellent coverage on Bert Emanuel. The ball was thrown inside, and Tyrone Williams gets his first interception of the season. There is a marker down. Tyrone Williams has not played well this year. They have been very disappointed with him at the corner with a rookie on the other side, but he played that one perfectly.
This is a personal foul that's going to go against Frank Middleton, number 73, I believe, after the interception.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Tampa Bay, number 73. The pass was intercepted 15 yards from the succeeding spot. First down.
This was terrific coverage by Tyrone Williams. He's right up on top of Bert Emanuel. The ball is thrown. He just makes a great play on it. If you can't get it as a receiver, you've got to try and help out your quarterback. That's just terrific coverage.
He really is. And you know what he does? He's looking at Emanuel. When he looks at the ball, you can see it. You can look at a guy's eyes. When you see his eyes get big, you just make a turn, and he did.
I'm just going to say how quickly he got his head turned around so he could follow the ball.
Well, if I'm the Packers, I come right out now and try and get another one on the board.
Play action by Favre under pressure. Steps up down the sideline. Incomplete.
Oh, I love the call, though. I love what Sherm Lewis did. This is something different than you have seen from the Green Bay Packers under Mike Holmgren. Sherm Lewis wanted to come in and stretch the field a little bit more, throw vertical plays. There you see Free going down, a little move outside, making the move up the field. Donnie Abraham doesn't get a chance. That's one of the differences you're going to see from Sherm Lewis as he runs this offense. Mike Holmgren still liked a lot of the crossing routes, wasn't real excited about throwing the ball down the sidelines as much as Sherm will try and do it.
2nd and 10 from the 43. Dorsey Levens. Close to a first down before he's pushed back by John Lynch.
You know, it always seems like when you tell a team that we have the #1 defense and the #1 rushing defense in the National Football League, you kind of inspire the offensive line of the other team. And they do a double team here on Culpepper right in the middle. Watch this. They just knock him back. There's the hole. Levens up the middle for 9.
Nice block by Henderson as well, the lead fullback, who had an off year in '98. They're really counting on him to rebound. It's 3rd and a yard. Levens got the first down at the 30. Let's go to Solomon Wilcox.
Yeah, Mike, Packers wide receiver Bill Schrader has already made one big play in tonight's game, but it may be costly. I'm told he has a sprained left ankle, and his return is questionable.
And that is not, Solomon, their deepest spot on the roster. That would leave them with really Corey Bradford and Antonio Freeman. The only backup would be Desmond Howard, who does not have a catch this year.
Put him in.
Favre dumps it off to Levens. Inside the 25, the tackle made from behind by Derek Brooks. At home, nobody has ever been better than Brett Favre. 50-6, an 89.3 winning percentage, the highest of any quarterback in the last 50 years. 50-6.
I don't know a lot of quarterbacks that can post that kind of record on the road or at home. Forget about home.
Or in
anywhere.
their mind.
Yeah.
2nd and 4. Packers have been moving at will. Levens, not that time. Cut down at the line of scrimmage. Chidi Ahanatu came through to get it.
One thing about him, we're talking to him yesterday, he's lost 20 pounds. He's having more fun than he's ever had in his entire life. He said, I love to go to work. I love to go to the meetings. I love to stay after practice. I love the films. I love everything.
Another guy that's lost a lot of weight is Warren Sapp. And he's done basically the same thing as Brett Favre. He looked at himself on film last year and said, I was a fat fraud, and I've got to play better.
Said he lost a 4th grader. 3rd and 4. The Tampa Bay not setting their defense. Here's a pass in the flat, and Abraham breaks it up, intended for Dorsey Levens. But Donnie Abraham, one of the hardest hitting corners in football, broke it up.
That's a terrific job by this defense. That's where rising up with the reputation of being #1 and saying, Ray Rhodes' football team, we cannot allow you to score again. They got behind Minnesota last week. This is not a football team that can afford to get behind too many points.
Longwell will come on to try a 42-yarder. He is perfect this year, and has had a terrific, if brief, career. Nails this one. So the Green Bay Packers taking advantage of their first 2 possessions. They scored on both. And at home, Brett Favre and company lead it 10-0.
Look, I know they can't hear me when I'm watching from here, but how can you get this close and not feel like you're right out there on the ice with them?
Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and score with NHL Center Ice.
Oh, nice! Stick save, Archie!
You'll see up to 30 out-of-market games every week, and you'll pay just $139.
Yes!
Reserve the hottest seats in the house for the coolest game on earth. NHL Center Ice on DirecTV.
Now that's how you do a backhand.
Legendary grudge matches settled once and for all, only on Direct Ticket. Heroes of Wrestling. 2-time WWF champion, the former Yokozuna. George the Animal Steel. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. King Kong Bundy. Jake the Snake Roberts. Captain Lou Albano. Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Luke and Butch, formerly the Bushwhackers. Nikolai Malakoff. So many more. A one-time only mega event. Heroes of Wrestling. Live from Casino Magic Sunday, October 10th, only on Direct Ticket.
This whodunit should only be watched one way.
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
With DirecTV's letterbox Dolby digital presentation of true crime.
Did you kill that woman or not?
Experience all the tension and drama of a life on the line.
They're gonna kill the guy tonight.
Just the way the filmmakers intended. Clint Eastwood.
Give me something. Man, what do you want from me?
In the letterbox Dolby digital presentation of true crime. Watch it before it's too late.
I will feel a whole lot safer when Beecham's gone.
On DirecTV.
ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers. By Toyota, on the edge every day. By AT&T, one-rate 7-cent plan, 7 cents all day, every day. And by The Bone Collector, starring Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. Tampa Bay hoping to get something started. They've never had a kickoff return for a touchdown in their history. 1,394 returns. Make it 95. Timeout on the field. We're in the first quarter. 7:27 to go from Lambeau. It's 10-0 Pack.
You heard about that couple at the airport? Got in a taxi yesterday morning. Stop this car! Found him hand sticking out of the ground with his wife's wedding band shoved on one of his fingers.
He's called the Bone Collector. And only one man can track him down.
I'm gonna walk you through collecting the evidence.
It's an awful smell.
That means you're close. But I don't want to disturb any footprints he might have left. Tell me what you see.
I think I found him.
The Bone Collector. Rated R. Starts Friday, November 5th.
Shannon Sharp, please, has always talking trash.
You're paying, baby.
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorn, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a PE ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
How diversified is your portfolio?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a PE ratio, you divide the stock price.
It has been said that in the future, when things we know cease to exist, only one will remain. Toyota Tacoma. Some things simply last.
Professor Tom Jackson tries integrating real-life experiences into his curriculum. So now, when his students write about a blitzing defense, they'll use stronger words like hemorrhage.
For those of you who'd like to simultaneously experience tonight's game on television and online, log on to ESPN.com or NFL.com. Click on the enhanced TV logo. Dunn on the toss. Beats Butler to the corner and has 12. Let's take you to Enhanced TV Live on the internet. Follow the cursor. This is the interactive aspect of it, the primetime player game. And welcome to us from Enhanced TV.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You can get all the stats on all the players, just adding to your enjoyment of following us on Sunday Night Football.
But you got to be watching.
And there is Trent Dilfer, up to date. Dunn goes out as a wide receiver this time. Allstott the single back. Dilfer to throw, and Emmanuel, there's the flag. He was covered again by Williams and blanketed.
That would fall more in the category of a mugging, not necessarily blanketed or covered. I mean, they locked up. You're allowed to make contact within 5 yards, but not quite to this extent.
Pass interference, defense, number 37. Automatic first down, the spot of the foul.
Well, this flag was before the 5 yards, so obviously you're talking about a mugging. All right, Tyrone Williams on Bert Emanuel. Here it is. He's got him, and he's holding by the jersey right there. It's an outstanding call. There's no question about it. He didn't let go. At least let go.
Got to give Bert credit. The one arm he could get up, he tried to catch it. Automatic first down at the 41. Good pass protection for Dilfer. Warwick Dunn across midfield. Williams knocks him out of bounds at the 47. First couple of ball games for Trent Dilfer were absolutely awful. He had a terrible time against that giant defense. His first 2 games, his quarterback rating was under 50. The last 2 games approaching 100. And as we said, he threw for over 300 yards last week. And nearly brought them back against Minnesota after they were down 21-0. done behind Allstott. What a job by Vaughn Booker. Reached the big arm out there, and then Billy Lyon cleaned up.
I mean, you talk about pursuit down the line of scrimmage. Vaughn Booker is there. I mean, if Billy Lyon comes down the line of scrimmage, you know, he's the guy that's subbing for Santana Dotson, and he comes down the line. These two guys really work beautifully together.
There is Santana Dotson. He has a stinger, missed last week, and they're holding him out one more week. They hope that he'll be able to come back without the pain and without the numbness in his arm. Dilfer steps up in the pocket to Anthony. Got by Sharper and has the first down at the Green Bay 36.
I think by Tampa Bay starting to get into a rhythm of throwing on early downs, they're creating some mismatches in the secondary. They're getting wide receivers out on linebackers. You see the inside receiver. That's Darren Sharper, a safety, trying to cover the slot up close, and he just doesn't know how to work himself around the coverage.
Early in his career, Riddell Anthony always seemed to try to run with the ball before he caught it. He has matured as a receiver. Allstott draw play. Look out. 260 pounds straight up the gut to the Green Bay 27.
This is one of the things that the Green Bay Packers were hoping they wouldn't see as a double tight end situation. But one guy in the backfield, and that's Allstott. Mayberry, the center, is on Gilbert Brown, number 93. Look at Mayberry. He turns him. What a great job. Gilbert Brown gets rid of him, but not soon enough. And then Brian Williams just misses the tackle.
And if Mayberry, the center, can handle Gilbert Brown one-on-one, they're going to be able to run the ball.
You bet.
2nd and a yard. Allstott tries the right side. Nothing there. Second effort, still nothing there. And it was George Kuntz stopping his progress.
You have one of those 3rd and shorts now where it's about a 3rd and a yard. Go to the line of scrimmage. If you're going to run it, make the call right now. If you want to run play action pass, I think you make the call right now. Don't move a lot of people. And I think you run away from where Gilbert Brown is. Wherever Gilbert lines up, you go the opposite direction.
Kevin McLeod has checked in as an extra blocking back. He's been promoted from the practice squad. He's number 43, a 252-pounder.
Gilbert Brown's on the right side. I think if you're going to go somewhere, you go left.
Allstott. Forward lean should have him the first down. It went across our ESPN 1st and 10 line, but the official came in and looked like he was marking it short of where the ball came down.
I think a good key for Trent Dilfer is wherever Gilbert is in 3rd and short, go the opposite way. You see him over here on the right side, so what they're going to do is they're going to run the isolation away from him. He's totally out of the play. You double him, and then you let Allstott run over a linebacker. He should be able to do it, or a defensive back.
That's first down.
Ah, Paul, you're so good.
Well, no, I saw the line.
Then you're smart, too.
I'm not going to commit myself when I know the line.
Tony Dungy watching his offense get into scoring territory. They have reached the Green Bay 26-yard line. This is a team that is scoring only 14.7 points a game. They have yet to hit 20. Dilfer runs into his own man, Allstott, and then dives forward to the 13-yard line.
I think Trent Dilfer was going to try and slide.
And Mike was in his way.
Got in his way and kept him up. Look at he's laughing. He said, will you please get out of my way? I'd like to slide, please.
But what I liked about what Trent did on that play, and he's starting to do it more and more in the last 3 games, is he was decisive. He didn't hang around in the pocket. When he decided to go, he took off and went.
And he is almost as big as Allstott at 230. Darren Sharper is the injured Packer. We'll check on him when we come back.
Stars has more new hit movies in prime time. Movies you'll see first on Stars and only on Stars.
High hands. Hey, Coach Majerus, can't wait for the season to begin? Tune to Channel 216 and get ESPN Full Court. Order right now and pay just $89 or 2 payments of $44.50.
You backdoor, you post up, you stop eating dirt.
You make the call. Tune to Channel 216. Order ESPN Full Court today.
And remember, guys, you can't coach size.
Catch what's coming to DirecTV October 15th. Take a wild ride through the night with this edgy comedy from the director of Swingers. Life begins at 3 a.m. Go. It's the comedy that gives horror films the backhand. Devon Sawa and Seth Green star in Idle Hands. If romance is a mystery, there's only one way to figure it out. Gillian Anderson, Sean Connery, and Jenna Rollins playing by heart. Don't miss these hit films coming to DirecTV.
Tony Dungy in his 4th year with Tampa Bay. Ray Rhodes, first-year head coach with the Green Bay Packers. The first time they have ever faced each other as coaches. They were traded for each other 19 years ago from the Giants to San Francisco.
That's kind of neat, isn't it?
It is. Dilfer to Allstott, bounced in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Jermaine Smith. The 298-pound defensive lineman from Georgia. And a tough break for the Tampa offense.
You know, Tony Dungy and the players we're all talking about, all the mistakes that they make up here. Here's one, just a bad bounce, excellent coverage.
What happens is Mike Allstott's trying to make a play. He's getting mugged a little bit by George Kuntz. And Jermaine Smith, great hustle by a defensive lineman getting around the football.
In the books, it'll go down as Trent Dilfer's mistake, but it wasn't his fault.
We didn't build the new full-size Tundra to take on other trucks. We built it to take on anything. Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
You know, you can't accept less from life, because then you'll accept less from your work, then you'll accept less from your weekends, and the next thing you know, you'll accept less from your beer. And you just can't accept less from your beer, because then you'll start accepting less from guys who install satellite dishes, and you might lose reception during an important football game. And hey, that's just wrong. Ice brewed so there's never any watered-down taste. Ice House. Enjoy.
A chunky Super Bowl moment. Terrell Davis's mom filled him up right with Campbell's Chunky Classic Chicken Noodle. It's loaded with chicken and vegetables and now bigger noodles. Terrell devoured his chunky chicken noodle and then devoured the defense.
Today there are over 300 Red Roof Inns. We've renovated our rooms, brighter colors, better fixtures, but kept our rates as affordable as ever. How do we do it? Cheap commercials. Call 1-800-THE-ROOF and save money like you mean it.
College Football Thursday. Can Toledo corral the thundering herd of Marshall? Game night at 7:30. Toledo Marshall at 8. Thursday on ESPN.
Packers get the ball back after the interception, starting inside their own 10-yard line, leading 10-0. Dorsey Levens hit at the line, leans forward for a couple.
Well, you know, this throw here, Mike Allstott, this is his fault. I mean, this ball is thrown perfectly. It's down, like you say, throwing away from the linebacker, down and in. That's your man. You got the interception. We saw that.
Play action by Farr. Has time, and it's dropped up at the 29-yard line. Antonio Freeman got his hands on it but couldn't hold it.
The thing you want to do is you want to be able to lead receivers into holes. You don't want to wait to see them open. After the play action fake, you're going to see what Brett sees. See the linebackers, watch him make the throw. Now, he throws it long before Free ever moves to the middle. His hands up in front of the ball and never has a chance to make the catch.
A rare drop for Antonio Freeman, and it's 3rd and 9. Free?
Yeah, we're on a nickname boat. You know, it's like Polly and Free. Look at all these nicknames. It's Free. It's Antonio. It's Free.
Favre under pressure. Ball's loose. Ross Verba appeared to be the guy that came out with it and saved a touchdown. Marcus Jones was the guy who knocked it loose.
In a game last year on Monday night, Favre fumbled 6 times, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers recovered 0. This is the 7th time he's fumbled in 2 games against them, and they wind up with the ball.
Well, and again, this is all Favre's fault right here. I mean, he's just holding on too long. Ross Verba, thank goodness he's there, or they get the ball for a touchdown. Verba thinks he's a runner.
Now Aguiar is going to have to punt from the end line. Carl Williams is back, and a terrible kick by Aguiar. Out of bounds near the 35. They'll mark it back well inside that, and a great break for the Bucs. ESPN's College Game Day, Saturday at 11 a.m. Then at noon, Indiana against number 18, Wisconsin. At 6, a big one in the Big East, number 15, Syracuse, number 4, Virginia Tech. Followed at 9, number 6, Florida against Auburn. Over on ESPN2, we start at noon with Minnesota and Illinois. Then at 5, Pitt, Boston College. And at 7, Utah and number 25, Air Force. They mark it all the way back at the 26-yard line, a 24-yard punt.
This is a play where I think Tampa comes out now and they establish their identity. They'll start to run the football here on this down.
All stop. Look at the power of this guy inside the 15-yard line. Darren Sharper makes the tackle. The Red Sox lead the Indians. Top of the 3rd, 7-2. That's game 4 of the American League Division Series. Allstott, 260 pounds, comes up limping. Is this guy a great player or what?
I grabbed him. He came in the meeting yesterday. I grabbed him by the arm, and I had to go get my fingers back.
I patted him on the back and hurt him. It's like getting a wall. He is solid.
Whoa.
Reminds me a lot of guys that I played with, John Riggins.
Oh.
He is the prototype old-time football player. Dunn. Warwick Dunn can't get outside. Bonnie Holiday.
Oh, man, Bonnie Holiday, you talk about playing defensive end. That was wonderful.
Big defensive play just when the Packers needed it. That is the end of the first quarter. Green Bay jumps out quickly, and at the end of 1, they lead it 10-0.
Monday Night Countdown at 7 on ESPN.
United is setting the standard for others to follow. Rising is leading.
Let's talk hard-working engines.
Pretty rough, huh? Well, you wanted full off-road capabilities. You know, just in case all the drive-thrus get moved to the mountains. But guess what? You got a hard-working engine. Better get a hard-working oil. This is Quaker State 4x4, a synthetic blend for hard-working engines. It's been tested for pure maximum protection. Nothing's better. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Let's launch it, Slim.
We talked about this all week. We got to stick with the game plan. We got to run the ball.
James says the max protect. Out right, box right, hound right, near right. Zip, 989.
Who's James?
Use your Visa card and you could win a once-in-a-lifetime NFL fantasy. Play flag football with the pros. Go to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Be in a Super Bowl halftime show. Or roam the sidelines before a real game. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field. Brett Favre and Warren Sapp, great players in this league for a long time, but both of them different this year than they were a year ago.
Well, you're talking to Warren Sapp. He said, I was a fat guy playing tackle. He said, actually, Joe said it before, I was a fraud. He said, what really got me is I had to look at the film 3 times a week. That's 16 games. He said 48 times I looked at how bad I really played.
You know, Brett Favre has never had to look at how bad he really plays. He makes some stupid plays like we saw, but he is a little bit, he's a different football player. I got the sense sitting down with him this week that he's a guy who is more in charge. He sits in meetings and he communicates with the receivers and he takes time to let them know what he's looking at so that everybody's on the same page.
Dilfer dumps it off to Warren. Dunn breaks a tackle. Touchdown.
Now there's a case of a quarterback and a receiver being on the same page. I really think that you have to get the ball in the hands of Warwick Dunn in the open field any way you can. And that's what Tony Dungy did on this one. Warwick Dunn checks up the middle. Bernardo Harris has got him one-on-one. This is a mismatch. Warwick Dunn with those quick little cuts, explosive, and then really knows where the end zone is. Here's the move up. Tyrone Williams misses him.
Warren Sapp seeing the offense do something. He is a big supporter of this offensive ball club. He knows they're going to need them in order to win. Grammatica, the rookie, with a point after, and Tampa Bay has cut the lead to 3. There's a flag down.
Probably going to be roughing the holder. They're going to call it on Green Bay.
And that'll be marked off on the kickoff.
Roughing the kicker, roughing the holder. We're all part of that one group. Great
Except
try.
the holder's a little more vulnerable.
Very.
Running into the kickoff, running into the kicker, defense number 31. The extra point is good. A 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Fred Vinson, the rookie, called for running into the kicker. It's 10-7.
Come on, Michael, come on. Time to jump the hammer now. Looking good, Michael, looking good. Man, what a light. That's good enough to beat a pole. Michael, you're not going to believe this. Not today, Mikey.
Make way for Cyberdale. It is knock knock out of my way. Rabid pack of pit bulls doing the jackhammer waltz. NASCAR 2000 EA Sports. It's in the game.
So where's our leader?
She'll be here. She's meeting with someone about her personal finances.
Wait a minute, the chief financial officer needs financial help. From whom?
I think it's her life insurance agent.
Really? So, what's the agent's name?
When you find out, let me know.
Have you heard from the quiet company? Northwestern Mutual Life.
They call me Oaf Dog from Sandusky, Ohio. Dog pound since '87. Football fanatic since birth. If you're a football fan like me, you gotta have DirecTV. I bought my DirecTV at Walmart. Walmart's got the best prices. I have 3 dishes total. This is the one on my house. I got another one on top of my motorhome. I get football beamed right from the football gods, right through my dish and right into my veins. Football is life. With DirecTV, it's like you're there. You gotta have DirecTV. You gotta get to Walmart. I love football!
The ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by EA Sports and NASCAR 2000, by Northwestern Mutual Life. Have you heard from the Quiet Company? By Walmart, always low prices, always. And by Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers. Downtown Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Looks like Miami.
Which is sort of empty right now because they're all here.
Looks a little bit like Miami.
It's warm enough to be today.
Basil Mitchell and Desmond Howard deep to receive Grammatica's kickoff. Howard cut down at the 22-yard line by Rondé Barber. Brett Favre, 30 today. Celebrating here in Green Bay. That's
us to him.
Our cake. And Brett, throughout the years, on his birthdays, boy, he looked like Brett Favre even when he was a kid, didn't he?
Has not changed a bit. There he is, 39 years old.
They weren't
30.
the same little kid that we've seen in those pictures is in that body out there.
The spirit's still there.
Doing the same thing.
From Kill, Mississippi. Bill Schrader is back in the ball game. Good news for Green Bay. Levens. There's Brett's wife, Deanna.
Hey, there she is.
What a great run they have had in Green Bay. And before he reached age 30, he has exceeded Dan Marino by 1. More victories than any other quarterback in the game.
Yeah, but what a show Dan Marino put on today.
Didn't he, though?
Vintage Dan Marino. Just say something bad about me and watch me go.
But Dan's not under 30 anymore. Of course, neither is Brett. The Bucs saying there was movement in the backfield. Now Favre under pressure. And Favre mugged by Chidi Ahanotu as he got to the 22-yard line.
And they were absolutely right. They were absolutely right. The halfback moved in the backfield. He flinched and moved. There should have been a flag. The officials missed one.
I'll tell you what's amazing is how Tampa Bay stayed onside. There were no flags thrown, but how they stayed there. They went up, came back.
That was not a good job. I don't know what Phil was looking at back there. That halfback flinched and moved. And a lot of the Bucs saw it.
Chidi Ahanotu was doing everything he could to point it out.
I think Favre's going to throw the ball to the tight end.
Which is a problem area now that Mark Shimura is out for the year. Davis will be his primary target. Favre guns this one incomplete. Another pass that looked like it went right in there to Corey Bradford and then came popping right back out.
Would not have been a first down anyway. He was 2 or 3 yards short.
Tampa Bay's defense doing the job that they have to do. What they're doing is they're getting pressure with the front 7, allowing the secondary guys to stay in cover 2 and make it hard to get to the receivers. Make them work over the middle.
9. Cover 9.
3. Whatever you want to call it.
Aguiar to punt to Carl Williams. He got one off of only 24 yards his first time. Williams from the 37. Trying to get outside. Carl Williams dives inside the 35-yard line, cut down by Corey Bradford. A 30-yard return, which pleases Joe Marciano to no end. Got a couple of beautiful blocks.
Yeah, but I had a feeling Keith McKenzie, number 95, is blocked in the back, right in the middle of the screen. He's pushed out of the way. They don't call it, but this is a great run. Watch the effort at the end of that run. That's perfect.
10-7 Green Bay.
Hi, I'm Eric Webster, host of DirecTV Big Events, the show to turn to when you need details on all the big events headed your way. Check us out this week for a preview of the highly anticipated event, WCW Halloween Havoc. A look at the hilarious Adam Sandler.
Now's about the time on the show where I lose it.
Plus, we'll check out some websites and we'll provide you with more helpful information on some of the events headed to DirecTV. Come join us.
Ernest. Yeah, and I like that name because it means honesty. Do you see what I mean?
Right, that was the name I was thinking about naming my son Christopher before he was born.
Backed by popular demand, psychic and spiritual leader Sylvia Browne displays her incredible psychic powers, playing this month on Direct Ticket. This star of sold-out lecture events and New York Times bestseller will conduct readings and lecture. Don't miss psychic and spiritual leader Sylvia Browne this month on Direct Ticket.
Now you can access the internet via satellite with DirectPC. At up to 400 kilobits per second, it's the fastest access available nationwide. And right now, get DirectTV and DirectPC all on one dish. So get connected today.
My Sports Center meal starts at 9:53 a.m. with the Did You Know as my appetizer for the 10 o'clock show, which is my main course. And for dessert, I don't know, the ice cream with the cookie dough is pretty good.
He's a little early, but he's seeing a good one. Brett Favre has given this franchise a couple of Christmas presents in the first 3 games with come-from-behind wins. Tampa Bay after the fine punt return from the 33. Warwick Dunn. A couple of yards to 31, covered up there by Vaughn Booker. And Mike McKenzie, the rookie corner, came up to help.
This is the way they started the last opportunity that they had in Green Bay territory. You come out with a run on 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 7. Trent Dilfer has some options. You can spread them out and hit them with the quick hitter with Warwick Dunn up the middle, or you can throw a 7 or 8 yard pass, try and pick up the 1st down.
The big difference there was the turnovers.
One of the things Green Bay has to do is they've got to get those linebackers up a little closer if they're going to be covering the backs coming out of the backfield.
Dilfer dumps it to Dunn. Inside the 20 for a 1st down.
That's exactly what we just talked about. Warwick Dunn comes out, and Brian Williams is the linebacker that's supposed to have. He's off the ball too far. If you're going to cover a back coming out of the backfield, you've got to get up on him and get a piece of him. Watch, Warwick Dunn comes out. Now see where Brian Williams 51 is? Now he's caught back, he slips, but he still wouldn't have made the tackle anyway.
But still, it's a zone, and if you get Warwick Dunn into a zone anywhere, he's going to find some space, and no linebacker can cover him.
22 yards rushing, 40 receiving for the Florida State graduate. Dunn again. Trent Dilfer said something really interesting the other night when we talked to him about coming up to play at Green Bay. We said, why have you never had any success up there? And he said, because they were better than we were.
Exactly.
Now, I think we can beat them.
He believes that. He believes that he is on a football team now that can play with the Green Bay Packers. They beat them last year. They went 1-1 down in Tampa. But if they want to prove that they're as good as the Green Bay Packers, they've got to beat them here in Lambeau.
Dilfer for Emmanuel. He can't get there.
You know, to a man, we talked to a half a dozen guys yesterday, and these guys said, you know, you look at the Minnesota Vikings last year, 15-1. I mean, they just said, hey, if there's a team we got to beat, is this team.
And this is a throw that you got to make. Trent Dilfer's got to get this ball to Bert Emanuel. Does a nice job of beating Tyrone Williams. This is a touchdown. That's a gimme. That's a bad throw by Trent. When you get a guy that open on the sidelines like that without the safety even close, you've got to make the throw. But that's the problem. Bert hasn't practiced all week, so there's really no timing.
Came into the game with a bad hamstring.
Blitz.
Dilfer under pressure and goes down. Brian Williams was coming. Leroy Butler was coming. He loves to blitz from the strong safety spot.
You know, one of the things they talked about, when you say who you really have to account for on the defense of Green Bay, is Leroy Butler, number 26. He comes off the, 36, excuse me. He comes off the corner. But Brian Williams is the guy that makes the play inside. But Leroy Butler makes Trent Dilfer step up to the sack.
You got to give credit to Green Bay's defense. They did the job they needed to. Tampa on offense didn't make a big mistake. They get an opportunity for a field goal.
Gramatica, the third-round draft choice out of Kansas State. He's been perfect this year. This is from 41, and he is 7 for 7 in field goal tries in 1999. The Bucs spot the Packers 10 points and come back to tie it up here in Lambeau Field.
Out here and practically everywhere else, people are using 1010-9000 because it's the easy way to find a phone number.
I'll tell you why I use it, because now I don't have to remember area codes. There's too darn many, and they keep a changing.
Well, that's one good reason. Any others?
Yep, I like the 1010-9000 operators. Sure beats talking to a machine.
No area codes to remember and nice people to help you.
Yep.
We're wish I'd said that. 1010-9000. Directory assistance for everyone in America. From MCI WorldCom.
I bought a pair of galoshes. G-S. Galoshes, galoshes. Galoshes. Oh boy.
Exciting episode of...
Welcome to the age of Vega. Sony Vega, part of the Sony Home Entertainment universe.
It's ESPN Sunday Night Football. This week, Brad Johnson and the Redskins' high-octane offense dueled in the desert with Jake the Snake and the Cardinals. Redskins-Cardinals next Sunday at 8:15 on ESPN.
Sounds like a real brouhaha.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers have come from behind to tie it up here with 10:43 to go, second quarter. Ron Wolf, the exceptional general manager of the Green Bay Packers, who brought in so many of these players, brought in Mike Holmgren, and now he has Ray Rhodes as his head coach, and has done an absolutely tremendous job in helping to resurrect this franchise, make them what they once were. Desmond Howard from the 5. Cut down as he crossed the 25 by Shevin Smith. Monday Night Countdown tomorrow night at 7. Mike Tirico, Tom Jackson, and Sterling Sharp with all the latest news around the league. Then at 9, it's ABC's Monday Night Football. Mark Brunell and the Jacksonville Jaguars head to New York to battle Keyshawn Johnson and the Jets. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for prime time NFL football.
Mike, one of the things that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do is they play two deep coverage, which means the corners are up. The corners are up here, and the safeties are back. Green Bay's going to have to run the football off the corners of the offense if they want to have any success. And that's not going to cut it. They're going to have to get more yards, or Tampa Bay will be able to play the run with just 7 and use those 4 defensive backs in coverage.
Dorsey Levens only has 4 yards in his last 4 carries.
You know what's really amazing? Yesterday we were talking to Warren Sapp, and they cut down that cast as far as he says, I've got to have some mobility in my hands. Even though he broke all his bones, he said, you know, I want to play. There's no question that he's going to play. Tony Dungy thought he'd only play on passing downs. He's in on running downs.
2nd and 8. Play action by Favre against the blitz to Schrader. The former decathlete from Wisconsin lacrosse makes the big play, 28 yards.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, I watched him do this in warm-ups, far through this ball like a rocket. I mean, you got to catch it. Watch him throw this ball. Watch him unload. Bam, that ball is out, gone, right in his hands.
Johnny Abrams doesn't stand a chance. It's a perfectly thrown ball. Billy Schrader runs it exactly the way they draw it up.
1st and 10 from Tampa's 43. Levens. Ouch. Didn't have a chance. McFarland, the #1 draft choice out of LSU, got penetration.
Another thing, when I talked to Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he said our #1 key is we're going to have to shut down Dorsey Levens. We can't let him run the football. We've got to keep them in long yardage situations. So far, they've done an excellent job with it.
And they are deep on that defensive line. Not only the starters are incredibly talented, but they have guys they can shuffle in and out. 2nd and 12 for Green Bay at Tampa's 45-yard line. Pressure on Favre, dumps it to Levens. Ball comes loose, picked up by Lynch. The ruling, he was down. That play, because he's down by contact, is not subject to replay.
And just about everybody came off the Tampa Bay bench because it was right in front of them. Ray Rhodes, it's on the field away from him. Tony Dungy can't believe it.
He just read his lips. He says, what do we have to do?
Look at the hustle by McFarland. 92.
Levens makes the move up inside. That ball is out. There's absolutely a question. There's absolutely a question.
Changing your mind in the middle of the replay, are we?
Well, it actually looked like the ball got hit when he initially got
There
it.
is absolutely a question.
That's right.
3rd and 7. You almost got out of that unscathed. Schrader underneath. Excellent coverage by Derek Brooks, who can run with anybody.
Boy, you know, you got Schrader who's trying to put on the brakes, and you've got a linebacker that's out in space, and you talk about excellent coverage of a linebacker on a wide receiver, and then bring him down.
There aren't too many receivers and/or running backs that are going to get away from these three linebackers, Brooks, Nickerson, and Quarles.
No, these guys can fly. Aguiar will now try to pooch one inside the 10.
He's pooched the last two and didn't try to.
And just when he didn't need to get a hold of one, he did. He could have used the 24-yarder he had the first time. That was 39 yards. Tampa Bay will start from its own 20 when we come back. 6:59 to go, first half.
And did you catch that hockey game last night?
No, I missed it.
Oh. So would you go out or something?
No, we stayed in. Watch TV.
You stayed in, watched TV, and you didn't see the hockey game?
That's right. We checked out Playboy TV.
Playboy TV?
Yeah, Susan loves it.
Ah, no wonder you missed the game.
Introducing the new Encore movie channel. Now you'll get recent, big, hit movies. And the new Encore is the only channel that promises you a great movie every night, guaranteed. The new Encore movie channel. A great movie every night, guaranteed.
Did you know vegetables lower cancer risks? Allergies affect 40 to 50 million Americans. Want to know more? Tea doubles chances of conception. Fiber protects women against heart disease. The Health Network has all the health news, information, and answers you're looking for.
Counting down the top 20, his courage on and off the diamond would forever change the game and a nation. Sports Century athlete number 15, Jackie Robinson, Friday at 10:30 on ESPN, presented by General Motors.
Coming up on the Motorola halftime report, Chris Berman with the fastest 3 minutes in television. The Red Sox leading at 10-2. We'll have an update on that, and we'll be back for the retirement of Reggie White's jersey. The Bucks start from their 20. Dilfer to Allstott. Breaks the tackle. To the 32. Let's go to Solomon Wilcox.
Yeah, Mike, tonight the Packers are without their starting defensive tackle, Santana Dotson, who's out with a pinched nerve in his neck. Santana, all week long, you guys have been preparing to stop this Buccaneer defense. What has been the point of emphasis?
The running game, no doubt. You know, they have two great running backs, and they get the ball to them, not only running but passing also. So you kind of got to gang around and try to get them on the ground.
Now, this is the second game you've missed with this injury. When will you be back?
I'm planning on Denver. We play Denver next week. So, you know, hopefully that nerve will calm down some, and I'll be back out there with my unit.
And Mike, Tampa's already taken advantage of Santana Dobson's absence. They have already rushed for 66 yards in the first quarter of this ball game.
They've done a great job, Solomon, doing what they do best. That last pass intended for Dave Moore. He was covered by Bernardo Harris. There's a flag. May have been interference.
Pass interference, defense, number 55. That's an automatic first down.
Whenever you run play action at linebackers, it causes them to take one false step, and then it makes it hard for them to catch up down the field. Look at the left side of your screen, number 83 getting pushed. Bernardo Harris isn't even looking for the ball. That's why they called it.
It's a 22-yard penalty and puts the Bucs in Green Bay territory. Allstott lowers his shoulders, keeps the legs driving. Look at this guy inside the 35.
I'm going to tell you something. You said it during the play-by-play, Michael, keeping his legs going. He gets behind the line and just never stops.
I want to show you what happens with motion with the defense. What you do is by going in motion, you walk this linebacker out. And that's where they're going to run the football, right where the linebacker is voided. Dunn goes in motion. Williams goes out. And look, there's nobody there for Allstott. Linebacker should be plugging this hole, but he's not. He's out covering Warrick Dunn.
He looks like a combination of Zonka and Riggins. Allstott again. Gaping hole up the middle, and Allstott fighting for extra yardage inside the 20.
I'm going to tell you what, I know how strong Bernardo Harris is. And when Allstott got through the line of scrimmage, Bernardo Harris tried to wrap his arms around him and pull him down. Forget it. Number 55 is Bernardo Harris. There's excellent blocking at the point of attacking the hole. But look at this. He's got his arms wrapped around him, but Allstott never stops moving his legs. And that's the whole key to it. Look at his legs moving. That's unbelievable.
9 carries, 58 yards. Allstott again tries to go outside this time, and Vonnie Holliday was waiting for it.
I think the one thing that Mike Shula has to fight, the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is he gets in a rhythm of running the ball. Down here, it's a good time for the play action after you've had the success that he has. What I'd like to see him do again down here is figure out a way you get Warrick Dunn somewhere in space one-on-one and let him work alone.
Dilfer, good numbers so far, 6 out of 9, but he does have the 2 picks, one of which was not his fault. Allstott will go out as a wide receiver. Packers late in getting a play on the field. Good time for Dilfer, and he throws complete to sideline. Williams on a manual. A short gain to the 18-yard line.
But this is a heads-up play by Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Doesn't take the sack, gets a positive yardage out of it.
I like the way he has continued to stay the course even after the interceptions. He's still doing what he's doing, taking his reads. As he told us yesterday, I'm just going to focus on my job and let the other guys do theirs. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Big play here, 3rd and 9. Dilfer will go to the shotgun, which he really likes. Something that they had not done before. Under pressure. Floats it for the end zone. No! Carl Williams appeared to make the catch, but slid out of the end zone.
I think the ball hits on the back part of the end zone.
What, another close one for Tony Dungy.
There goes Williams down the middle. Dilfer throws it out. Good call by the official.
It was
not
loose.
even close. Couldn't quite get a hand on it. Dilfer's had a couple down here. One to Bert Emanuel, just a little bit long on the left side. Now this one.
That was the heads-up play.
Here's Gramatica. He hit from 41. This from 36 for the lead for the Bucs. High snap, they got it down, and Gramatica hooks it through. Tampa Bay once down 10-0, now on top 13-10.
Their defense has done the job. They've managed to shut down the Packs offense. And offensively, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing a nice job of mixing up, I think, 1st and 10 more than anything. Spreading the defense out, hitting them with quick hits. You know, Trent's all excited about the fact that he can drop back and throw the football.
What I like about what Trent Dilfer is doing is his patience. He's waiting, and he's looking at the backs like Dunn and Allstott coming out of the backfield. He is being very, very patient with his game.
And one other thing that is happening is that offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because the formations are spreading out the pack so much, they're only able to rush 4. And Dilfer is having the time to find the zones.
Makes it doubly tough for Leroy Butler to come in as a blitzer from the safety spot. He's back in the secondary.
Takes him completely out of the run support game.
And they have certainly quieted the sellout crowd here at Lambeau Field. Brett, 30 years old today. It's funny to listen to somebody who's 30 years old talking about how tough it is to get out of bed in the morning.
Got to try it at 61.
I hope to.
I'd like to at some point.
Desmond Howard. Cut down short of the 30-yard line.
Brett Favre. Birthday boy.
It's a little harder to get out of bed in the morning. It's a little harder to go straight out to practice without getting loose. It is creeping up on me a little bit, but I still feel like I can do everything I've ever done before, if not better.
Hey, old man. Happy 30th birthday.
Warren Sapp said he actually considered buying Brett Favre underwear for his birthday because that's what Brett said he wanted for his birthday, and Sapp said, no, I'm not buying underwear for another guy. I'm not doing it. Levens has a hole this time. Good tackle by Damian Robinson and a nice lead block by Henderson, a gain of 14.
I'll tell you, Henderson, you talk about laying some lumber. Look at Henderson, number 33, go up into the hole. Rivera, 62, gets an excellent block. Henderson gets an outstanding block, and there's the hole. And this is what you said the Green Bay has to do.
I think if they're going to force Tampa out of the double coverage of the wide receivers, they're going to have to run the football on the perimeter.
Levens the single setback this time. Favre, a strike to Freeman. Antonio Freeman at the Tampa Bay 41-yard line. There's a marker down.
Holding. Green Bay.
This comes back.
Ray Rhodes with probably one of the toughest jobs you could have in football.
Holding. Offense number 52. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
I think one of the toughest jobs you could have as a coach is to come in and take a football team that has a proven record, that has done the things that it did under Mike Holmgren, and come in and keep it going. Even though you have the same players, it's a philosophy that makes a difference. I think Ray Rhodes is the perfect choice to be able to keep the Green Bay Packers at the level that they're at.
And what a compliment it was to Ray Rhodes to be hired for this job after the disastrous situation he found himself in Philadelphia. Favre sidearms this one to Henderson, and Henderson is ripped the second he got it by Shelton Quarles.
Well, Joe said, you're not going to do much with these linebackers. Nickerson was there. Quarles was there.
Brooks is everywhere. We have reached the 2-minute warning at Lambeau Field. Tampa Bay on top by 3.
And the snow emergency is still in effect. In other news, the market rebounded today.
Ooh, the market.
Gene, buy one of them tech stocks.
Shake it up.
No, invest in pork belly.
No!
Dump your money in plastics.
While you're buying things, why don't you buy me some legs?
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
I'd like my spleen back, too.
I don't know where it is.
The web has more users in the first 5 years than telephone did in the first 30. The web has more users in its first 5 years than telephones did in their first 30. A population the size of the United Kingdom joins the internet every 6 months. Every 6 months. Internet traffic doubles every 100 days. One day, the internet will make long-distance calls a thing of the past. One day, the internet will make long-distance calls a thing of the past. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Are you ready?
These overhead shots provided by the Dell Aerial Cam high above Green Bay, Wisconsin for ESPN Sunday Night Football from Lambeau Field. It is 13-10. Buccaneers over the Packers. Hope you'll be with us at halftime. They will retire the jersey of the legendary Reggie White.
Isn't it a great sign? Simply the best.
Yeah.
And he was.
And he was. Favre wants a screen to Levens and has it. Dorsey Levens following his blockers. Lynch knocks him out of bounds. Excellent blocks by the lineman and a great job by Levens of setting him up.
For years, the Green Bay Packers have run screens better than anybody in football.
And that's what they're going to run on third and or second and long or third and long.
Look at how long they wait to set it up. They force the lineman upfield. Frank Winters downfield making a block, number 52, the center. Antonio Freeman does the right thing, gets out of the way.
Favre, short set. Schrader picked it off the ground, and then he is creamed. Robinson just unloaded. They say it's incomplete, but Robinson didn't know that.
That's right. That's just a safety doing his job. Schrader goes down to try and make the play. He's not touched. Damian Robinson comes in and just tattoos him. Watch the right part of your screen. Schrader comes in. He gets down on it. It's on the ground. He gets up. The whistle hasn't blown. He doesn't know. He just comes in and unloads.
Yeah, this is great play by both players, though. Schrader is trying to fake it like he did catch the ball and gets up, makes that move, but he pays for it.
Levens on the toss. Excellent job coming up from the corner by Rondé Barber.
You're seeing corners and safeties just throwing their bodies all over the place.
One thing Monty Kiffin says, and you talk to Rondé Barber, the coordinator, Monty Kiffin, in a corner, Rondé Barber says, hey, our job is to tackle. That's part of our job description. We're not corners that just go cover people. Our job is to tackle and hit, and that's what they do.
They can blow people up.
Well, they said, Monty Kiffin said, here's the defense, play it.
3rd and 7. Incomplete. Favre trying to get Tyrone Davis's tight end.
Yeah, but Derek Brooks, number 55, a linebacker, he's sitting there in the right position and forced Favre to throw the ball wide where he didn't want to throw it to Tyrone Davis.
That's right. When linebackers can get into an area, they don't need to cover somebody. All they need to do is be in an area where he's going to be a little bit more athletic than your tight end. You've got to throw to a margin of error and hope the guy can make a play. That time he couldn't.
Longwell is hit from 42. This one, however, is from 49. It would be his longest of the year. By plenty. Would have been good from 55.
Hey, how about those kicking balls aren't any good?
Telling you, boy, I hate to see what they're doing, those kicking balls. You know, they must be rubbing them down very well.
Well, that one traveled like it's been a week in a microwave.
Mike, don't make that suggestion.
Look at this. Watch how fast this thing comes up, and it's on the rise. This clears it easily. 49-yarder. Look at how high on the pole it is, so that tells you a good 10 yards.
What it does is it puts in the back of mind for Steve Ortmeyer, their special teams coach, that if they need a long one, that they'll have a chance to take a shot at it.
Well, it was plenty long, but as you could see on the replay, it barely got inside the left crossbar. Or the left upright.
Barely doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
It's good.
We're tied at 13 with 57 seconds to go in the half. Only the second kicker since 1970 to make 60 of his first 70. Richie Cunningham of the Cowboys the other. Longwell, a great free agent pickup.
Oh, what a nice guy. Stopped in yesterday to talk to us. Just a perfect guy.
Riddell Anthony waiting at his 2.
Aren't all kickers, Paul?
Yes. Yes, you're right. Especially
Anthony at the 4. Lost his balance and went down at the 21. National Hockey Night tomorrow at 7 on ESPN2 is the Dominator, Dominic Hasek, and the Buffalo Sabres host the Phoenix Coyotes. ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC, your exclusive networks of the National Hockey League.
Dominic's last year. He's going to retire after this year. Dominic Hasek.
We saw that slip out there. This field's going to come out after this game. They're going to put in a new field at the end of this football game as the Packers go on the road for a couple weeks.
Remember, the Bucs used 2 of their timeouts early. They have only 1 left. Draw play to Dunn. Nowhere to go. Packers did a nice job of jamming it up inside, and Vaughn Booker was in on the stop again, along with Gilbert Brown.
Gilbert Brown's his own jam.
The Packers, a little bit surprised the Packers aren't choosing to try and use their timeouts. They had 3. You got to figure Tampa Bay is going to want to run the football with 50 some odd seconds to go. Ray Rhodes might have been able to choose them or use them and did not.
I don't understand it. Why do you take them in the locker room? They're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
You can at least get 1 shot if you took the timeout.
Done. And both teams seem very content to take a tie into the locker room. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Bucs 13, the Packers 13. Now let's join Chris Berman for the Motorola halftime report.
All right, Michael, Paul, Joe, thank you very much. Our favorite game, as the late Pete Axtell used to call it, the Bay of Pigs. But you have a feeling that maybe one of these 2 teams could be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. I know we're a long way off because what a wacky season and what a wacky day. We go into the day with Atlanta, Philly, Denver having won. They won. And either Cleveland or Cincinnati would win. Somebody had to win there. Now, Dallas was undefeated going into the day. New England undefeated going into the day. And St. Louis undefeated going into the day. But you figure they had to lose. After all, they lost 17 straight to the San Francisco 49ers, dating back to 1990 when they were the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, that's almost as far back as Deacon and the guys, right? But, boy, what a party in St. Louis. Kurt Warner to Isaac Bruce. First drive, 7-0 Rams. Warner to Bruce, 14-0 Rams. Still in the first quarter. Bruce beats Mark McMillan. 45 yards, it's 21-3 Rams. Warner to Bruce 4 times. Warner had 5 touchdown passes, 14 in 4 games. Oh, by the way, Tony Horn of plenty could go all the way. The Rams are 4-0. They clobber the Niners 42-20. Cowboys at the Eagles. Troy Aikman to Michael Irvin. Very scary moments. Lands awkwardly on the turf. Irvin down for a long time. MRI, swelling of the spinal cord, which the team surgeon says is serious, but at least it was better than what this looked like. He certainly will not play next week, but it could have been worse. Meanwhile, Doug Peterson, Charles Johnson, first Eagles touchdown in 19 quarters. The Cowboys squandered the 10-0 lead, and Philly wins for Andy Reid 13-10. Down 16-7 at Kansas City. Drew Bledsoe with the Patriots. Sean Jefferson moving on up. 16-14. 9 seconds to go. Adam Vinatieri, 32 yards. Doink! No good. The Patriots no longer undefeated. The Chiefs beat them 16-14. 17-14 Buffalo, third quarter at home against Pittsburgh. Doug Flutie, only he can. Hit the tight end of the roll, the opposite side. Jay Reamersma, touchdown. Bills win 24-21. Dolphins at Colts, game of the day. Dan Marino to Oronde Gadsden on 4th and 10. First down with the Dolphins down 31-27 and now seconds left. Marino to Gadsden. Was he in? They ruled he was pushed out. Touchdown. 34-31 the Dolphins win at Indy. Neil O'Donnell. Fiancee Thigpen. Shades of the 95 Steelers. Touchdown for Tennessee. At home they beat the Ravens 14-11. Bears at Vikings. Look at Rico McDonald. Boom! Make the hit. Sean Harris recovers. Bears in Minnesota leading 7-0. Cunningham. Picked off 3 times. This by Terry Cousin. Big upset for Dick Geronimo. The Bears, they win 24-20 for the Vikings in last place. Giants at Cardinals. Jake the Snake Plummer. Injured, came back because David Please come to Boston. Made his first NFL reception for a touchdown. 40-3, the Cards beat the Giants. Falcons at the Saints. Play of the day. Tony Graziani clobbered by 5 Saints. To Jamie German. German goes 62 yards and watch number 70, Bob Whitfield. The big lineman come all the way downfield and boom, help block. Falcons, though, lead at 20-17. Billy Joe Tolliver and Eddie Kennison battled away. Ray Buchanan. The Falcons win for the first time this year, 20-17 over the Saints. Chargers at Lions. Rodney Harrison, he's in the backfield to hit Corey Schlesinger. Picked up by Darrell Lewis. San Diego beats their old coach, Bobby Ross, 20-10. Broncos at Raiders. Denver gets a win when Rich Loose Gannon passed to Terry Mickens. And Mickens is Pickens by Torrey James. Denver wins it behind Brian Greasy, starting for the injured Brister, who was supposed to start 16-13. Fake field goal for expansion, Cleveland. Phil Dawson, the pitch from punter Gardaki. Touchdown. And then Achilles Smith ruins the party in Cleveland. To Carl Slim Pickens, the Bengals beat Cleveland 18-17.
This halftime report is presented by Motorola, a leader in wireless personal communications. Motorola lets you take your world with you.
We'll return to Lambeau shortly for the retirement of Reggie White's number.
Look at him go. Great, eh? Oh, he's the greatest of all time, Jack. Walter Payton. Sweetness, baby. The greatest of all time. No job. Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders. No, Marcus Allen. Real Davis. He's the greatest.com. .com. Yes, man. I really like the way he moves. Yes. I thought you said Terrell Davis was the greatest. Well, that was yesterday, but today, Ricky Williams is the greatest of the greatest. Of the greatest.
Unlike most cheerleaders, I actually follow the sports that I cheer for. I'm a regular sports fanatic. And that's why I read Espen, the magazine. Espen, the magazine, is the magazine for all us sports insiders. Just the other day, I said to the coach, "Hey, Coach, did you read that Peter Gammons article in Espen, the magazine last month? Was that in depth or what?" ESPN, go Espen, the magazine.
Welcome back to the Motorola Halftime Report with your host, Chris Berman.
Welcome back, everybody. 13-13, Bucs and Packers. The Red Sox game is 15-4. John Valentin with 7 RBIs. Red Sox lead the Indians in the top of the 5th. But now a special moment at Lambeau. Back to Mike Patrick.
All right, Chris. Reggie White, more sacks than anyone ever. More Pro Bowls than anyone ever. A combination of speed and strength we had never seen before. And when he chose Green Bay over everyone else as a free agent in 1993, he helped resurrect this franchise and finally got the Super Bowl he had played his entire career for. Tonight here in Green Bay, they retire his jersey. Here's Wayne Larrabee.
Thank you for leading us to a Super Bowl. And almost as important, we thank you for bringing urban hope to Green Bay. You helped us, as part of our urban partnership, achieve All-America City status. And you know, I've given you a key to the city, I've named a day in your honor, so there's not much else I can do for you, except maybe rename the city. So for the next 24 hours, Titletown will not be Green Bay, it'll be White Bay. Congratulations, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you the governor of the great state of Wisconsin, the Honorable Tommy Thompson. Isn't it great to be a Packer fan? "6 years ago, people did not believe that Green Bay would be able to recruit Reggie White. But the smallest city in the NFL, with the largest heart, the greatest determination, and the greatest spirit, fell in love with Reggie White, and we fell in love with him, and he fell in love with us. He is a minister of defense and the greatest defensive lineman that's ever played the game in 75 years. It is my honor and distinction to designate all over the state of Wisconsin that this is Reggie White Day, and everybody is commanded to celebrate Reggie White and his family for all of the determination and love they gave us here in the state. Congratulations, Reggie. Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie is going to be in a Hall of Fame right across Oneida Street. He's going to be in another one in Canton, Ohio. But my broadcast partner is already in the Hall of Fame across the street. Please welcome Larry McCarron.
Thank you. Reggie White made sure the Packers completed their return to glory. This man got it started. Ladies and gentlemen, the general manager of the Green Bay Packers, Ron Wolf.
Thank you. When we were recruiting Reggie White, Reggie sat in my office, said, Reggie, you're already a great pro football player. You come to Green Bay, you will be a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie White, legend. One second. Reggie, in appreciation for your efforts, the Green Bay Packers, here's your jersey. Reggie White.
Sean, Keith, and Santana told me not to cry, so I did. First of all, let me thank my mother, Thelma, for having me. She's definitely been a great inspiration throughout my career and very supportive. I want you to know I love you. To my children, Jeremy and Jacolia, they're the greatest kids in the world, and I thank God for them. And to my wife, who's been the support that I've always needed throughout my whole career. She's always been there, and I thank her for being there, and I love you, Sarah. I want to say quickly, you know, there's a lot of people that helped me through my career. My teammates here in Green Bay, Marion Campbell, Buddy Ryan, Mike Holmgren, and Ray Rhodes. These two guys came down to Knoxville, Tennessee uninvited. But they got me here in Green Bay, and I want to thank them for it. Green Bay, Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin, since we won the Super Bowl, there's been players that's won championships that says that their fans are the greatest fans in the world. I want to say this to you. There's no better fans than Packer fans. You are the greatest fans in the world. Thank you to this organization. I am honored and privileged to have been a part and to continue to be a part. I want to say thank you. I will always be a Green Bay Packer. Last but not least, I want to say to you, Jesus, thank you. God bless you guys.
The greatest defensive end of all time with his jersey retired here tonight. Back with the second half after this.
ESPN Sports Century, available at bookstores now.
Wrangler jeans are soft and comfortable. And they get more soft and comfortable every time you wash them. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
Pine Lake. 3 friends. 3 pair of Wrangler jeans. Everybody's comfortable. Even the fish. Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
This halftime report is presented by Motorola, a leader in wireless personal communications. Motorola lets you take your world with you.
13-13 at the half. Back with the second half after this.
Stars has more new hit movies in prime time. Movies you'll see first on Stars and only on Stars.
There's a lot of people in my neighborhood that are dead from something.
Behind a company's reputation,
Somebody had to have seen what happened.
lies a dangerous secret.
They think it has something to do with the city's drinking water.
Now, one lawyer is about to discover
If you're gonna knock a guy down, do it so he can't get up.
how much he'll risk for the truth.
I want an apology for what they did to my son.
John Travolta,
They say they want it to end, but it's war.
a civil action.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
The truth is stranger than science fiction. This month on DirecTV, Lee Majors takes you on an expedition into the unknown.
You will see things that defy human imagination.
In the UFO Chronicles, experience the earth-shattering devastation that the government tried to hide. Atomic Journeys, welcome to Ground Zero. Uncover the answers, we dare you, in these 2 explosive specials. Only $2.99 each on Channel 190. Now playing on DirecTV.
Today, there is a growing concern over our children's future and the need for guidance. Here in Tampa, the United Way and Derek Brooks of the Buccaneers are making a connection possible through a program called Foster Grandparents, where senior citizens volunteer their time to be with young people. These relationships can help shape our children's future and achieve a greater understanding within our community. The NFL, the United Way, and you.
A power teamwork.
Back at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, and we have a beauty for you. The Battle of the Bays. The Bucs and the Packers deadlocked at 13. And when Brett Favre came out of the locker room for the second half, he had that right thumb wrapped in ice. He originally hurt it during the preseason.
Watch this. Here's he makes the throw before the half, and at 25, Dorsey Levens is there. He hits him right on his shoulder pads, and watch his arm. He'll just grab his hand there.
Now, he admitted it wasn't right, and he was going to have to worry about it all year long, but this is really going to aggravate it.
Now, as he gets into the flow of the game, it'll feel better and better. And it's a very good thing that the Packers are on offense, because now he's going to get a chance to handle the ball right away instead of standing on the sidelines just trying to grip it and see if it works. So now he'll be able to get into the flow of it and be able to try and put it a little bit behind him.
His backup is Matt Hasselbeck, who has never thrown a pass during the regular season in the National Football League. Mitchell and Howard are deep. Mitchell from the 1. Across the 20 to about the 23. Now, if you're calling plays for the Green Bay Packers, do you want Favre to throw, or do you come out conservatively?
I don't think you can come out conservatively, and I'll show you why. They've rushed for 37 yards in the first half, right here. That'll tell you why. I don't think you can come out conservatively. You only run the ball 35% of the time if you're the Green Bay Packers anyway. You have to come out throwing the football and doing the things that you do.
And neither one of them was very good on third down.
Both defenses have been super, though.
Yeah, they have been. And Favre told us yesterday, he said, this thing hurts. It's going to hurt all year long. There's nothing I can do about it. I just got to play.
Yeah, but you can't keep on hitting it.
Favre to throw on first down. Drops it to Levens. Levens across the 30. He was cut down by middle linebacker Hardy Nickerson.
That was all for show, Joe, that ice. He's all right.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to be, you're not going to convince him of that, trust me.
He is the most durable quarterback in the game today. Tonight, his 113th consecutive regular season start. He is approaching Ron Jaworski's record. They're going to have to drag him off the field. Levens, nowhere to go. Then he cuts it back. Breaks a couple of tackles. Dorsey Levens near midfield.
Right. Favre makes a great block. He was waiting for Dorsey Levens to break the tackle, and as soon as he did, he makes an outstanding, I don't know if that's Derek Brooks, number 55 or not, but that's a linebacker. Now watch this. Dorsey Levens is running to his left. Nothing there. When he comes back, he's going to break a tackle there. Now watch that block. Yes, it was. It was Derek Brooks, number 55, the linebacker, that Favre blocked.
Remember the Buffalo game we did with Doug Flutie? Same thing.
I was going to say, he's been watching those tapes, and he got up a little shaky after that block. Favre airs it out on first down, intended for Schrader. Spun around a couple of times, perfectly covered by Donnie Abraham. Let's check in with Solomon Wilcox.
Yeah, Mike, Brett Favre had a bandage on his hand. He was trying to keep it warm, just to keep it loose. It's a very cool night here at Lambeau Field. He came out after halftime, took the bandage off. He warmed up, appeared to be okay. Right now, he's throwing the ball pretty good. We all know Brett Favre is one tough hombre. Right now, he's in the game and playing well.
Solomon, you're absolutely right.
But I don't think you're going to see the kind of passes from him that we saw in the first half with that type of velocity on those sharp, quick posts.
That's Hasselbeck. Levens. And he is just planted. Marcus Jones, number 78, and Derek Brooks picked him up and body slammed him.
Derek Brooks, number 55. He's not going to get blocked. Get blocked by a quarterback. Of course he's upset. They always do that. Harry just throws the blocker away and plants him. He and Marcus Jones, they each get a shoulder and slam him into the ground. This is a situation the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense wants Brett Favre in that offense. 3rd and long.
3rd and 10. We're tied at 13. Done a great job on Warren Sapp. They've kept him off. Brett Favre, and he rifles one to Freeman.
Michael, if you're going to rush only 4 people against Favre, you're going to pay for it. They only sent 4. And when you do that, that offensive line blocked extremely well, and watch Favre step up into the lane. Frank Winters doesn't really have anybody to block.
I take it back. He can hum it. I didn't think he'd be able to be perfectly honest with you, or I wouldn't have said it, but he just proved me wrong.
Only the 2nd catch of the night for Antonio Freeman. Levens, they really tricked him, a little misdirection. Levens, touchdown. There is a flag down.
Corey Bradford is going to wind up with holding on Damon Robinson, the safety. going to be 85 on 24. What a wonderful call.
What a cute little wrinkle. Favre just sort of leans one way and then goes the other.
Holding on the offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
That's a killer mistake.
Good little fake up inside, like William Henderson's actually going to get the ball. He never does. Dorsey Levens carries all the time. There you see Corey Bradford. Well, you saw him on the ground, and you saw Damian Robinson on the block. There's Bradford. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, it doesn't count. If linemen get their hands outside and get them inside, they don't call it.
Well, you know, with Dorsey Levens running the football, Joe, all he really had to do, Bradford, was just stand in front of the defensive back. Just stand there. You don't have to block him.
But he's a young guy, and he's trying.
He is. You know.
That's the thing, you know, the young guy. 85 on 24. What a wonderful call.
What a cute little wrinkle. Favre just sort of leans one way and then goes the other.
Holding on the offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
That's a killer mistake.
Good little fake up inside, like William Henderson's actually going to get the ball. He never does. Dorsey Levens carries all the time. There you see Corey Bradford. Well, you saw him on the ground, and you saw Damian Robinson on the block. There's Bradford. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, it doesn't count. If linemen get their hands outside and get them inside, they don't call it.
Well, you know, with Dorsey Levens running the football, Joe, all he really had to do, Bradford, was just stand in front of the defensive back. Just stand there. You don't have to block him.
But he's a young guy, and he's trying.
He is. You know.
That's the thing, you know, the young guys are trying.
Basil Mitchell, number 28, the rookie, is in the backfield. Favre to Schrader. Wrapped up by Abraham at the 20-yard line.
You know, when you watch Favre operate, and we talk a lot about him, Dilfer's doing a great job, but when you look at what Favre does, there's a holding penalty. They bring the ball back, Joe. He's got 16, 17 yards. He's satisfied with half. I'll take half now.
With this type of an offense, first down and 15 really is no different than first and 10 because their passes are designed to get more than 7 or 8 yards.
Second and 8. Play action by Favre under pressure. To the one, the ball's fumbled. Touchdown. Corey Bradford got it back.
Now, I'm not sure whether it might not have scored it out of bounds. That's what the officials are talking about.
Bradford made the catch, lost the ball. It came right back to him.
I'll tell you, you're looking at Warren Sapp, number 99. He's the guy that misses Favre.
They're calling this a touchback. What they're doing is they're calling this a touchback.
The ruling on the field is that the ball was fumbled forward into the pylon, which results in a touchback for Tampa Bay, first down.
What a break for the Bucs. And Bradford had a touchdown in his grasp and lost it.
Watch what happens. Now he makes the turn. He heads upfield. All right, now the ball is fumbled. It hits the pylon, which makes
the end zone.
That's right, which now he recovers it. He's out of bounds. It doesn't matter when it hits that pylon. The rule is it's a touchback.
And Damian Robinson not only saved the touchdown, but they get the ball back, which is why they tell you to hustle until the very end.
You know, I want to tell you something. Brett thought he had a touchdown, but does he have control of this ball? If you look at it, I don't know if he had control of the ball the entire way.
Once the next play starts, it can't be challenged, and it started. In the flat to Dunn, and he is nailed. Never had a chance. George Kuntz was right there. They're yelling Kuntz.
That formation that we saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers run from the eye as a part of their passing game will not be effective. We talked about the speed of Tampa Bay's linebackers. Green Bay's linebackers can run quite well.
Dilfer Screen to Allstott. Broke one tackle, but not a second. He was covered up by middle linebacker Bernardo Harris.
Bernardo Harris makes the play, but Brian Williams, number 51, the linebacker, he's the guy that forces it. He sacrifices his body to make sure that Allstott doesn't get a running start. He comes in, does not make the tackle, but really makes the play.
There goes Brian Williams, number 51. He drops back. He lets the receivers go. He reads the screen, does a nice job of reacting, winds up on the ground, and still can recover.
3rd and 12. And Dilfer steps out of bounds. He waited as long as he could, couldn't find anybody.
I like what he did. I like the decision of not trying to throw the ball back in the middle of the football field. Let your defense go out. It's a close game. Don't make a crucial mistake that hurts your football team.
As you see, the Red Sox pounding lumps on the end ends in the bottom of the 5th inning. Howard waits back at his 37-yard line for Royals punt.
Bad kick.
Howard can't get up and get it, and will let it roll. Great bounce for Tampa Bay inside the 30. And now the crowd on Desmond Howard a little bit after the kick of 51 yards from Mark Royals. We're tied at 13. 9 minutes even to go. 3rd quarter from Green Bay.
All right, captains, we're going to have a coin toss now. If there's a team, we'll call it in the air. We want a good, clean game. We're all professionals here. Does anyone have change for $1?
What? Want to get away? Now you can. For only $99 or less, you can fly coast to coast when you purchase by November 3rd and travel October 5th through March 31st.
You are now free to move about the country.
Driving with the power and control of a Cadillac Seville SLS is always a thrill. And you'll also be thrilled by this powerful offer. Lease a new 2000 Seville SLS for about $549 a month and $35.99 due at lease signing. Call for complete lease details. So put yourself in a position of power behind the wheel of a Seville SLS. It's a thrill you won't want to miss.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of the telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
It's live. It's now. Enhanced TV. Log on to ESPN.com and NFL.com while you watch the telecast.
Well, a little cheddar cheese and some bratwurst during the day, a ball game at night. It's the honeymoon's off to a slow start. Of course, if you're a Packer fan, what could be better? Levens to the 39-yard line and a flag at the end of the play. It's usually a late hit or a face mask.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, defense, number 77, 15 yards from the end of the run with an automatic first down.
That's Brad Culpepper, and that's 15 yards.
Actually, it's on Shelton Quarles. Number 53 is the guy that grabs the face mask. Here it comes. Dorsey Levens is coming inside. That's Quarles there. Culpepper.
Yep,
Where is he? He's not even in the picture yet.
Yeah, but he never lets it go. That's why they called it.
That puts it in Tampa Bay territory, and Favre to throw. Under pressure. This time they got him back at the 48-yard line. Warren Sapp, and he'll have a few things to say.
Warren Sapp, number 99. There he is. He's going to put a lot of pressure on. That hand may be in a cast, but he just gets inside. That's unbelievable. He's really playing with one hand. He can only use the left one to try and wrap up.
That was his 5th sack of the year. He came in tied for 2nd in the NFL. Favre in trouble again. This time he's drilled by Marcus Jones.
That's something else you don't see from the Green Bay Packers, and you never have until this year, the shotgun. It's something that Brett Favre likes. It's something that Sherm Lewis has put in. Under Mike Holmgren, you will never see it. Looks like they're trying to set a screen up, but the pressure is so quick by Marcus Jones, Brett doesn't have a chance to find Dorsey. Watch number 99. Warren, you can't throw it. Warren Sapp, not only is he beating you with his ability athletically, but also smelling out the screens.
Now it's 3rd and 26. Favre with time, rifles one, caught by Freeman. Holy cow, on 3rd and 26, he hits a 43-yarder.
Again, Tampa Bay, they've got him back on their heels, and they send 4 guys. And when you do that, you got Antonio Freeman going down the middle, and where he puts this ball is incredible. Watch the protection, and then watch Favre step up. All the blocking he's there, he just steps up and fires.
I don't understand how you can let Antonio Freeman run down the middle of the football field without putting somebody on his face. You know, to me, if that's the design of the defense, then the coordinator's at fault for that one, not the execution of the players. You've got to have somebody up on their faces.
What a strike from Favre. He wants to throw again. Rifles this one off the hands of Freeman. Down at the 3, Donnie Abraham was there.
Oh, he's feeling it. Brett Favre is just setting, rocking, and firing.
Well, that time, that's Antonio Freeman's fault. He ran a little bit deep on the pattern and didn't look back right away. That ball hits him before he even sees it.
You know, from a quarterback's perspective, I'll just say that, you know, you're absolutely right. I mean, you hit it absolutely perfect. I mean, Ray Rhodes getting all tensed up. He doesn't need another one to go down to the wires. Blood pressure goes out of sight anyway.
For this one almost picked off. Derek Brooks had his hands on it, couldn't hold it. Intended for Thomas in the tight end.
I really don't even know who this was intended for. But I can tell you one thing right now. Derek Brooks can feel it. Watch this rocket. Yeah, you hold on to that one, pal.
It would have dragged him to death.
Well, it bent him back. It bent him backwards.
It actually probably would have. Rondé Barber, if he'd have deflected a little, might have had a chance to catch it at that speed.
Another 3rd down.
And another shotgun.
Here comes the blitz. Everybody coming, and he throws incomplete. Intended for Bradford.
That's what you were talking about, Paul, is you come after people. You don't give him a chance to make plays and bounce around in the pocket.
Well, look at the people now that before you give him a 4-man rush, he'll beat you to death. Now watch this. Lynch comes, everybody comes. They come right up the middle. Hardy Nickerson is right in his face. Now you're going to force him to throw the ball quick.
That's also been a problem for the Green Bay Packers offensively. When people bring 4 rushmen to one side, they've not been able to block it very well all year.
Longwell has already hit twice tonight from long range, 42 and 49. This is from 38. Good. He's good again. And the Packers have regained the lead. The big play, a 43-yard strike on 3rd and very long from Brett Favre.
He lived an ordinary life.
Mining coal is an honorable trade.
And he was destined for an ordinary future.
You were born for this!
Until he followed his heart.
Coal mine's your life. It's not mine.
And showed the whole world what dreams are made of.
I want to go into space.
From the producer of Field of Dreams.
I got it in me to be somebody in this world.
Based on an extraordinary true story. October Sky.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Look, I know they can't hear me when I'm watching from here, but how can you get this close and not feel like you're right out there on the ice with them? Call 1-800-GIVE
Get sports and score with NHL Center Ice.
Oh, nice! Stick save, Archie!
You'll see up to 30 out-of-market games every week, and you'll pay just $139.
Yes!
Reserve the hottest seats in the house for the coolest game on earth. NHL Center Ice on DirecTV.
Now that's how you do a backhand.
Order and receive a free Mr. Socko official sock puppet. Check out WWF.com for details.
ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by the Bold Look of Kohler, by Nasonex, by Katera, Think Zig, and by Miller Lite. Taste a true Pilsner. Back at Lambeau Field, the Bucs have not won a road game at Green Bay since 1989. They're down by 3 here. Riddell Anthony. And that one goes out of bounds. A big break for the Bucs. ESPN Sunday Night Football continues next week with a high-flying Washington Redskins. Brad Johnson leads the NFL's most potent attack into the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Join Joe, Paul, and me right after prime time at 8:15 Eastern. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for primetime NFL football. Back after this.
Fortunately, there's Nasonex nasal spray, an effective nasal allergy prescription medicine taken once a day to relieve nasal allergy symptoms, indoors and out. Now that's wonderful. The most common side effects were headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Hey, Michael, John here. I'm hanging out, having a beer. How come you don't come down?
Man, I'm doing the same thing as you. Why don't you come over here? I mean, the Miller Lite is ice cold and so smooth.
Oh, come on, man. From where I'm sitting, the Miller Lite tastes great.
Yeah, but the women are prettier over here. Trust me on this.
I find that very hard to believe.
And you guys call yourselves detectives.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
You know, we're kind of off duty right now. You know.
Hi.
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 Think Zig. With Katera's quick, responsive handling, it'll impress you left and right. Now think smart. Lease a new 99 Katera for just $3.99 a month. Call for complete details. And think about this. Through November 1st, you'll even get a 3-year SmartCare basic maintenance contract at no extra charge. So drive a new Katera today. Think Zig.
When the Blues enter Hockey Town, they will be looking at Iserman and Fedorov on the ice, and a lot of banners in the rafters. Blues Red Wings, Wednesday at 8 on ESPN.
First we had Santa Claus early, now we have Halloween early. And it's trick or treat for the Packers as they're up 16-13.
There's a family we know and love.
Oh, that's icky. You know what the inside of a pumpkin is like? The Bucs start from their own 40. Allstott bowls his way for 5 yards. He has 59 on the night.
Mike Allstott continuing to pound away, and they keep on working on Gilbert. Gilbert Brown is going to get he gets singled. All Mayberry does is just turn him. You see Allstott use his quickness through the hole, and then look at how hard he runs. Again, double on Gilbert Brown. He's just so tough to bring down.
Dunn, the tailback behind Allstott. Allstott spins off a tackle. What a nice job by McKenzie, who went right for the ankles.
We talk about Tampa Bay and how hard they run the football and want to run the football and how committed they are, but look where they run it. Look at this, right up the middle, 10 times. Once outside, over here, 10 times up the middle for 63 yards. That is all Mike Allstott. The outside rushes, they'll come from Warwick Dunn.
Stay away from the left, would you?
Wherever Gilbert is. If Gilbert slides over there, you go the other way.
3rd and 3. Dilfer buys some time. Throws right at the sticks. Got a favorable spot from the official. That will be a first down.
I'll tell you, he marked it right where you're supposed to mark it. This is actually an excellent mark by the official. He was there. The forward progress was there. I mean, this is just heads-up play by Trent Dilfer. He breaks back out to the outside. But watch this now. When he throws the ball back to the outside to Emmanuel, watch where he is. Watch where he catches it first. Right there. That's a first down. Now they force him back. It's a great spot.
Sure is. He was across that line. First down at midfield. Dunn. Got by Holiday. Hard running by Warwick. Dunn picks up 3. Bernardo Harris made the tackle.
I would not like to see Tampa Bay go back into a shell and just the I formation. They started this game by spreading out the Green Bay Packers. I still think you can run the ball effectively if you do it. They're coming back in. I'd like to see Mike Shula on this play. Play action. Thanks, Mike. We couldn't see a little foggy.
Squeegee.
Appreciate that here. You know, obviously worked at a gas station when he was real young.
He's a windshield wiper.
That's it. Now we know what Don had him doing.
Dilfer under pressure in the flat to the tight end. Moore picks up another 3. Dilfer's played really well. He's been extremely patient.
He's played smart football, and really when we had a chance to sit with him, he talked about that we went through a period last year of about 6 weeks where he kept trying to beat himself up and try and defend himself, and he finally said, look, I'm not going to do it. I'm coming in this year. I'm going to try and take care of my job and let the other guys do theirs, and that's what I think he's done tonight. He's effectively run this offense.
And one of those picks tonight was not his fault. It was right in the hands of Allstott when it bounced up in the air. Dilfer 4 for 4 this half, trying to keep it going on 3rd down. 3-man rush. Gonna run for it, and Dilfer dives for the first down to the 37.
Talk about a guy out of his element. He's not sure whether to slide, dive, what do I do? But he did do the one smart thing. He got to the ground.
He's back in the pocket, and it's easy for us to say, look, everything's fine. Well, watch Bert Emanuel, number 87, on the top side. He is wide open for the touchdown, and Trent Dilfer never sees him and doesn't have time.
What happens is the play gets called for a back, and he gets so focused on it that he doesn't really spread his vision out.
Warwick Dunn. He goes up the middle down to the 33. Coming up next, Sports Center. Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen will bring you up today on everything in sports, including that big Indians-Red Sox game. Can Boston force Game 5? Kurt Warner goes wild. The bad news Broncos are at it again. The Sunday conversation with the new Brett Favre. That's followed at 12:30 a.m. Eastern by NFL Primetime. Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. All the highlights of all the games.
Reggie White's in the booth.
I know, he hit me already.
2nd and 6 for Tampa. Dilfer to Dunn. Warwick Dunn lowers his head and got inside the 30. Kuntz and Williams combined on the tackle. Reggie White has come up to join us. He will be with us as we enter the 4th quarter, and only 1:39 to go on the 3rd quarter clock here at Lambeau Field.
Again, this particular down and distance 3rd and 3 puts so much pressure on Green Bay defensively, because when you've got a Warwick Dunn back there, when it's 3rd and 3, you can run them, or you can try and isolate them on a linebacker, which Mike Shula has tried to do time and time again. I think now if Dilfer gets the one-on-one outside, be a good time to take a shot.
Draw play, Dunn. Tell you, they said he was too small coming out of college. That little guy has got a lot of courage. He'll go right up inside and get the yard.
They said the same thing about Reggie White.
Too small to do what? What do you mean he's too small?
Well, they were, you know what it was? They were concerned about his durability as a full-time back. I mean, I played with Joe Washington. Great Baltimore Colt, fantastic Washington Redskin. People said he was too small. Joe actually preferred to run inside. He didn't like to run on the corner, a lot like Warwick Dunn.
75 yards from scrimmage for Warwick Dunn tonight. Dilfer. Incomplete, too strong for Riddell Anthony.
Oh, that was excellent coverage by Tyrone Williams, number 37. I mean, he was there. Riddell Anthony is downfield. I mean, the pass is thrown beyond, but watch this. Tyrone Williams, he just turns and runs. Now he looks back. You can bump all you want once you're looking back at the quarterback.
And what I think Trent's got to try and make this throw for the completion. He's overthrown guys. We saw him with Williams in the end zone, with Emmanuel this one time before. And you know, he's got to try. I think you try and work the middle of the football field.
Alstott is out wide to the near side.
I think you got Dave Moore at tight end, or get the ball to Warwick Dunn, spread him out.
Dunn up the middle, inside the 25. Brian Williams on the tackle, and that could be the last play of the third quarter. It will bring up a 3rd and 7. The Packers, 37 straight wins when they lead at the end of the third quarter. In 3 seconds, they will lead at the end of the third quarter. That's it. A 3-point lead for the Packers. 15 minutes of football to go from Lambeau Field.
We, the DirecTV faithful, are rewarded with more sports, more movies, more music, more everything. So many choices often prove intimidating. Take a deep breath, relax your trigger muscle, then... perfect. Remember, too much of a good thing, still a good thing.
Starting a family is a big decision. There are so many things to think about.
How will our lives change?
Can we afford it?
How do we find the right doctor?
What about adoption?
Am I too old?
How many kids?
What does the future hold?
Are we ready?
When you're ready, let the Health Network help you prepare for pregnancy and parenthood.
Introducing the new Encore movie channel. Now you'll get recent, big, hit movies. And the new Encore is the only channel that promises you a great movie every night, guaranteed. The new Encore movie channel. A great movie every night, guaranteed.
Professor Tom Jackson tries integrating real-life experiences into his curriculum. So now, when his students write about a blitzing defense, they'll use stronger words like hemorrhage.
These overhead shots provided by the Dell Aerial Cam high above Green Bay, Wisconsin for ESPN's Sunday Night Football. We're at Lambeau Field where the Packers lead by 3. Tampa Bay driving. Dilfer out of the shotgun, throws complete, close to a first down, looks like maybe a yard short to Riddell Anthony.
Excellent job by Darren Sharper. This is a one-on-one defensive back on wide receiver. He has to make the tackle.
You know, you talk about it so many times, Joe, about guys, you know, come up and make a play. Yeah, you can make a play. But if you can't get the interception, you have to make sure you make the tackle.
That was the thing that Emmett Thomas talked about, the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. He likes to play a lot of man-to-man. He likes to put the pressure on his defensive backs to make plays. That time, Darren Sharper did a terrific job.
Sharper grabbed that ankle and hung on for dear life. They will bring out the chains to measure. But it's not even close.
There's some bad eyesight down there.
No, you know what it is? I like, as a quarterback, I would like to do this as well. And I think Tony Dungy did the right thing. You get it out. It gives you a little bit of break in momentum. Gives you a chance to get your team set up out there. You're not trying to rush someone out with a debate on distance. You can always request the measurement. I think that's a good move by Tony.
Grammatica will come on with a chance to tie it. He's hit from 41 and 36. This will also be from 36. 8 for 8 this year. The rookie from Kansas State pours it right down the middle. And the Bucs hanging with the Packers here in the fourth quarter. They said this is what they wanted, to keep it close in the last quarter.
Think Zig. With Katera's quick, responsive handling, it'll impress you left and right. Now think smart. Lease a new 99 Katera for just $3.99 a month. Call for complete details. And think about this. Through November 1st, you'll even get a 3-year SmartCare basic maintenance contract at no extra charge. So drive a new Katera today. Think Zig.
Hi there. Can we get you anything?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Are you enjoying your stay, sir? Ah, you're on vacation, huh?
No business, but the Best Western Course seminar.
Isn't that still going on?
Workshops today. I slipped out the back. Boss is never going to know I spent all day on the beach. You're not going to tell him, are you?
Can we get you some lotion?
Lotion? I'm tougher than that.
I can't talk right now.
Okay, I love you.
Me too.
Me too what?
You know, that thing you just said, me too. Ditto.
Ditto? You mean I love you?
Oh, yeah.
So the third quarter is on target, and as soon as young Joe tells his wife that he loves her, we'll talk about the fourth quarter.
At Sprint, we know it's not just about one flat rate for your long-distance calls.
I love you.
It's about the value of every word. Isn't that the point of contact?
Whoa, 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 whoa. You got the right idea, but you have terrible form. Watch. You want to get in, bend your knees, and explode. Explode the hips. Let me see you explode those hips. Give it a shot. You're getting better. Keep trying.
Tied at 16, 14 minutes, 28 seconds to go in the ball game. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Solomon Wilcots, Reggie White will be joining us shortly. Desmond Howard from the 11. Can't get outside, cuts it back, reaches the 29. Timeout on the field, 14 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the game from Lambeau.
NFL Tonight, Tuesday through Saturday on ESPN2.
Is this a smart investment? Janice crunched all the numbers. They add up if the development opens on time. So every 2 weeks, Janice comes out here. Every 2 weeks, Janice sees how it's really going. Every 2 weeks, it's right on schedule. So Janice invests. The doors open on time, and Janice got in on the ground floor. Looking to build your portfolio? Get there. Janice Mutual Funds.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
14-17 left at Lambeau. The Packers and the Bucs deadlocked at 16. We are honored to have the greatest defensive end that ever played this game join us in the booth. Reggie White had his jersey retired tonight. The emotion overflowed down there, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And I want to thank Ron. You know, I want to say to the Packer fans in the state of Wisconsin, you know, I'm sorry that things got misinterpreted this past week, but there was no way that I wanted to point anything towards what this organization was trying to do. I mentioned I would have preferred for it to be on Monday night since Mike was coming back. But I think Ron did the right thing, and I'm extremely honored. I'm extremely honored for what they did for me tonight.
Were you prepared for what you thought that ovation was going to be like?
No, I wasn't prepared for it. I remember last year, when I played my last game, I ran around the stadium, and I was like, I'm not going to cry, because the guy was like, don't cry. Well, when I walked in that tunnel, I was bawling like a baby. But it was even worse tonight.
That's great.
Packers take over at their own 29-yard line. Levin's the single setback, and he'll get the ball. across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Reggie, there are rumors going around that maybe your career isn't over after all. How about that?
Well, I told Santana, Dawson, and Keith Jackson and Sean Jones that what I was going to do is when they retired my jersey, I was going to go in, take it out of the picture frame, and come on back out.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah, that's good. I miss it. I miss it more than I thought I would.
What's the hardest part?
The locker room. Not being with the guys, not being out there in combat with them. I mean, you realize that you genuinely fallen in love with the guys that you played with, and that's the thing that I miss.
Did you still play?
I think that if I got in shape, I could put 2 more years in.
Well, you didn't. The last couple of years, you really didn't get in shape much. Your back was hurt so much, you never had a chance.
Last year, I worked hard to really get myself in shape, and my back was really bothering me. But this year, I hadn't probably. I lifted my first weight 2 weeks ago.
How many games do you get a chance to watch?
I watched all of them. I heard the first game on radio, but I've been watching all of them.
3rd down and 3 for Brett Favre and the Packers from the 36. Dumped it off to Henderson, and he didn't get it. Reggie, before they punt, let me ask you a question. Let's go back to 1993 when you were a free agent being courted by everybody in the world. They wanted Reggie White to come and play for their ball club. People said Green Bay, Wisconsin didn't have a chance. It wasn't all that great for black players. Why would Reggie White or someone of his caliber want to come to Green Bay, Wisconsin? What convinced you to come here?
Well, as I mentioned out on the field, Mike and Ray showed up uninvited. One day.
They just came.
They came and they called me and said they were in town. And, it's just a commitment that they had to this team, the commitment to win. That really impressed me. And the tradition of this place is incredible. And I wanted to be a part of that.
Carl Williams let the punt go. It dies inside the 14-yard line, a kick of 49. Reggie White, our thanks to you for coming up in the booth. Congratulations on your great night.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We don't build commuter cars or get you to work fast pinstriped cars. We don't build cars, period. We build the 205 horsepower, get out of town fast Isuzu Rodeo. Because there's more to life than the daily commute.
Wrangler jeans are the perfect jeans to wear when you're going out for a little seafood with your best buddy. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Wrangler jeans. Perfect.
The Packers will have to re-kick. They had an illegal man downfield. So a break for the Buccaneers after that punt rolled so far. And this one, a line drive by Aguiar. 45-50 into Green Bay territory. A 17-yard return by Carl Williams after a kick of 34, and what a huge change in field position. Would have been dead inside the 15-yard line. Instead, they're at the Packer 49. ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Isuzu. We don't make cars because life is too big for cars. By AT&T One-Rate 7-cent plan. 7 cents all day, every day. By Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers. By Charles Schwab, creating a world of smarter investors. And by Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
You know what's amazing? I sit there and look at Aguiar, and he's shaking his head and looking at the field. You're the guy that missed it. I mean, you had 3 bad punts, and they're your fault.
Well, Aguiar just got here 3 weeks ago. And, of course, Tony Dungy, he actually has this game, I think, the way he wants it to go. They were tied at halftime. They've hung close now. They're tied. His offense has not committed the big mistakes. They've gotten behind by people all the time.
You said Aguiar only got here 3 weeks ago? Who cares? He's a punter. You don't learn anything. You kick or you don't.
That was a statement of fact. That was not an excuse.
It wasn't like he had to learn something.
That was not an excuse.
Tomorrow's headlines tonight on ESPN from Sunday Night Football. Our best wishes go out to Michael Irvin. He will be hospitalized overnight with swelling of the spinal cord sustained in that loss to the Eagles Denver, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Cincinnati all got their first wins of the season. Cleveland still on the schneid. St. Louis 42-20 over San Francisco. Kurt Warner with 5 touchdown passes. And the St. Louis Rams, are you ready for this? The only undefeated team in the NFL. Dan Marino came from behind for the 46th time to lead the Dolphins over the Colts.
What a great piece that was on Kurt Warner and his family.
Wasn't
and
it?
The trials and tribulations to get where he is. Congratulations.
4 games, 14 touchdowns. How good is that?
Can't help but root for that young man. Allstott to the 45. Vonnie Holiday made the tackle. Tough night for Louis Aguiar.
Josh Bidwell, their regular punter, is receiving chemotherapy.
He was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and the team, with donations and a golf tournament, have raised $94,000 of his $100,000 expected medical expenses. They have done a remarkable job coming up with the money. Dunn. He's ripped by Kuntz as he went into the hole.
You hit certain junctures of a game where they're key. This, to me, is a very key point in the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're on the road. They're in Lambeau, a place they haven't won. They need to convert this 3rd down to keep the drive alive, to get them in position to at least have an opportunity at a field goal.
They have not won here since '89. Tony Dungy has never won here. And as we were mentioning earlier, they know beating Green Bay at Lambeau is the signature for being the dominant team in this division.
And I like trying to get the ball to Warwick Dunn. I think that's a great matchup for Dilfer.
4-man rush. Dilfer under pressure. Hangs in there, but throws incomplete. He avoided the sack, but couldn't get it to Allstott. Keith McKenzie was all over his legs.
I'll tell you, this also shows you some of the strength of Trent Dilfer. I mean, McKenzie is all over him. He's limping off the field. But Trent Dilfer still almost gets this ball off.
Well, he's 6'4", 230. He's a big kid. And now Royals will come on to punt. Tampa Bay on 3rd down has only converted 4 of 10 tonight. Howard waits at his 10. Royals to punt. One of the best net averages in football. Fair catch made at the 11, a 32-yard punt, but no return. 10:37 to go in the game. We're tied in Green Bay.
Wrangler jeans are the perfect jeans to wear when you're going out for a little seafood with your best buddy. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Wrangler jeans, perfect when you're training your dog or when your dog is training you. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
When I grow up, I want to file all day.
I want to claw my way up to middle management. Be replaced on a whim. I want to have a brown nose.
I want to be a yes man. Yes woman.
Yes, sir. Coming, sir.
Anything for a raise, sir.
When I grow up,
I want to be underappreciated.
be paid less for doing the same job.
I want to be forced into early retirement.
Check out the new Monster Talent Market, the first auction-style marketplace for freelancers.
Warren Sapp, the confrontation with Brett Favre. It happens every time they play. You go to the back of ESPN, the magazine, to the outtakes page in the back. And Warren Sapp, interviewed by Dan Patrick. Can we do away with AstroTurf? Oh, why not? If we can put a man on the moon. And then does his quarterback try to do too much? Apparently so. Let's not try to make a heroic play. You're not Fran Tarkenton.
Well, you know,
what he didn't say is he is Trent Dilfer, and he's played under great control tonight.
He's done a good job tonight. I mean, he's running this game like a quarterback should. He's trying to make the plays he can. He's been smart with the football.
Only thrown for 81 yards.
Just hasn't been given a couple of opportunities. They've done a good job defensively at taking away the long ball.
Taking the short stuff that they've been giving him. And that's smart.
Packers have to start from their own 11 with 10:37 left on the clock. Play action by Favre. He loves this. And throws complete up to the 29-yard line. Schrader makes another catch.
I talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a double zone defense with the corners up and the safeties back. Here's one where Lynch moves up. Watch what's going to happen. Watch what happens. See the safety move up. Lynch moves up. Now you got one-on-one in the corners. You don't want to do this against Brett Favre. Look at how far off the corner is and allows him really an easy completion.
Schrader now has 4 catches for 106 yards. He's the guy who has to step up because Freeman usually draws a double team. Freeman this time gets himself free to the 49-yard line where he's gang tackled.
Play action pass. Freeman gets in between 4 white shirts, Tampa Bay players, and Favre hits him. You know, I don't want anybody on there. I'll stay out there by myself. Watch this. Watch with this ball. First of all, it's play action. Now you're looking in the backfield. Look where he is. In front of Lynch, beyond the linebackers, Hart Nickerson. And there are 4 guys there.
And now Antonio Freeman has gone over 100 yards. 4 for 110. Both wide receivers have cracked the century mark. Levens is on a wing. They throw to the other side, complete to Freeman in front of Kelly. It's a gain of about 8, and Brett Favre is on a roll right now.
You bring up a great point, Mike. When a quarterback gets in a rhythm and on a roll with the receiver, terrific job by Sherm Lewis giving him opportunities to get the ball to Antonio Freeman. That's just a nice job by a coordinator, feeling what his quarterback is doing and a receiver working together and giving him opportunities to work.
Favre over 300 yards tonight. Quick out to Schrader. Brooks takes him out of bounds, but not before he got to the 29.
You saw that little audible that Brett Favre gave to the signal to the wide receivers. They had to change them. This is the first time in 17 years that they've changed this audible system. Sherm Lewis felt like everybody started to know what was going on. Watch the little hand signal. See that little hand signal is something new this year. For 17 years, Sherm Lewis has had the same one. He decided it was time to change.
Just like the change they made at Miami a couple of years ago because everybody knew those audibles. Packers on the move. First down at the Bucs 34. Levens. Lynch forced him out of bounds at the 30.
Can you imagine how good Favre would be if he had a good thumb?
I don't know if he could be any better.
No, he's about as good as he can
get. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I
mean, the guy's already thrown for 300 yards. He comes out with his thumb and ice and everything else. And, you know, but he said, I'm going to have to play hurt the entire year. So what? Let's get after it.
He has such a remarkable will about him.
I think he's really been a different player this year. He plays with, it seems like, a lot more emotion exposed, and he's taken the burden of this football team's success or failure totally on his shoulders.
If you want scoring, go to the Red Sox game. They're up 20-6. Flea flicker. Favre, Lynch had the interception and dropped it. It was intended for Freeman, but Lynch did a great job.
Not only that, Antonio Freeman does a terrific job. After he sees that this is going to be intercepted, he gets the ball away from Lynch. I was talking about a receiver helping out a quarterback. They run a flea flicker, hand it to the back, throws it back. Favre doesn't even see Lynch, but look at Antonio. He stays, look at this. He stays after him, trying to make a play. And Lynch can't hold on to the ball.
You know, Favre was lucky to get this ball off because he handed it to Dorsey Levens. He threw it back, and he was about to get hit, so he just let it go.
3rd and 7 for the Packers. It would be a 47-yard field goal from here. They won't have to do it, though, as Favre gets the completion inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Freeman with another catch.
And I don't care where you are on the field. If it's 3rd down and long against the Green Bay Packers and Brett Favre, you cannot rush 4 people and think you're going to get to him. This is so easy for him. He stands there. He's got all day. Watch this. Look at the time he has. They blocked everybody. They open up the hole and let him throw.
But not only do they have the time, but we saw again Antonio Freeman just coming off the line of scrimmage with nobody on his nose.
You let Favre throw and Freeman run free in zones. They'll complete every one.
Freeman, 6 catches, 131 yards. Levens, nice cut. Dorsey Levens inside the 15. Lynch and Robinson, the safeties, got it.
Dorsey Levens has such great feet. He's a big guy. He's got excellent hands, but he's got tremendous feet. When you watch him, he's going to go to his left. Watch him stop now and back. Now he's full speed again. Can't get outside. I go back inside.
Tremendous cut, a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Clock ticking, approaching the 6-minute mark. Favre rifles into the end zone, tipped in the air, almost intercepted. Robinson got his hands on it.
We talk about how hard Brett Favre throws the football. His receivers are used to catching it. Damian Robinson really plays this perfect. He knows where Brett is going, but he can't catch it. Watch number 24. He sees it's going to be thrown that way. He's right all over this ball. The problem is he's never tried to catch anything that hard. Watch this thing rocket out. I mean, he just has no comprehension of the speed of that ball when it's coming out.
3rd and 6. The Packers do not want to settle for the field goal. They have seen that Tampa's been able to move it up and down the field tonight. And now the Bucs will use a timeout with 6:06 to go in the ballgame. They want to talk about their defense on 3rd down.
What do you want to see? When do you want to see it? See, why wouldn't you get it? Here's how you order. Call 1-800-496-8273. The official program guide of DirecTV. Easy to read, use, and filled with exclusive features. See what you want. See when you want. See what you've been missing.
Did you know vegetables lower cancer risks? Allergies affect 40 to 50 million Americans. Want to know more? Tea doubles chances of conception. Fiber protects women against heart disease. The Health Network has all the health news, information, and answers you're looking for.
Say you're going to miss your favorite TV show because you have to go out of town. Unexpectedly. While you're gone, your show can be recorded automatically every time it's on, without tapes or other hassles. Introducing TiVo, the first personal TV service. It will amaze you in many ways. Available only on the Philips personal TV receiver.
It's ESPN Sunday Night Football. This week, Brad Johnson and the Redskins' high-octane offense duel in the desert with Jake the Snake and the Cardinals. Redskins-Cardinals next Sunday at 8:15 on ESPN.
Sounds like a real brouhaha.
Well, we're not down to the 11-second mark, but it will be 3rd and long with 6:06 to go in the ballgame. Bucs and Packers even at 16. They're already in field goal territory. The Bucs defense this season, no touchdowns after the first quarter. They have simply shut people down.
This is where they haven't really thrown the ball to the tight end, Jeff Thomason. Brett Favre likes to try and work the tight end down in this area.
Favre under pressure. Warren Sapp from the backside. His 2nd sack of the night, and look at the respect that Favre and Warren Sapp have for each other.
Well, Warren Sapp said to us, he is the best quarterback in football. He may be the best player. He beats Dotson on this play. And look at it, he just takes him right back to the quarterback.
Favre said when they used to woof at each other all the time, that Sapp told him, hey, I can chase you down. Favre says, no, you can't. The next play, he chased him down, and Brett said, okay, you can. 43-yard field goal attempt. Both kickers have been perfect. Longwell drills it down the middle. Green Bay has regained the lead, but Warren Sapp helped keep them out of the end zone with his second sack of the game.
I think AOL is one big community.
It's not hard at all to use.
Customer service is always there to help.
I've never heard of anybody else having what AOL has.
People that are on are just like you.
America Online. So easy to use. No wonder it's #1. Sign up today.
A chunky Super Bowl moment. Terrell Davis's mom filled him up right with Campbell's Chunky Classic Chicken Noodle. It's loaded with chicken and vegetables and now bigger noodles. Terrell devoured his chunky chicken noodle and then devoured the defense.
You can't see anything in a car. You can't see past the guardrails in a car. That's why we don't make tiny little cars.
Look, Mommy, a tugboat.
Really? In the water?
Yeah.
In fact, we don't make cars, period.
Mommy, birds.
Wow.
We prefer the view from the look outside and see the world as Suzu Trooper.
Look, Mama, space shuttle.
Because you never know what you might miss in a car.
How did UPS become the official express delivery sponsor of the NFL? Well, let's just say they put us through a very challenging drill. For the earliest next day delivery, count on the same people the NFL does. UPS.
People say I talk a lot of trash. I don't talk a lot of trash.
All these big-mouth people here in Miami talking about I talk too much and this one's gonna whoop me. Well, I want all of them to be there.
You gotta see Ali talk.
Call 1-800-CLASSIC to get ESPN Classic.
9 times in his career, Warren Sapp has sacked Brett Favre, the most of any quarterback he has played against, and nearly 25% of his career sacks have come against Brett Favre. Riddell Anthony deep from the 4. Bradford chases him out of bounds at the 26. Here's what Warren Sapp had to say on what he likes most about playing against Brett Favre.
Warren Sapp. Toughest quarterback I know. Most quarterbacks don't even want to talk to you and engage in any conversation. He'll engage in the conversation, take a good hit, and get up and be yelling, woo-hoo, come on. And you're thinking, has he really lost his mind?
Brett Favre says the last thing he wants is an angry Warren Sapp, but there is no way he's going to back down from this guy, and he knows what a great player he is. Bucks from the 26. Dilfer throws long, and Bert Emanuel broke the pattern off short.
One of the things that the Bucks should be able to do is throw against this secondary. Ron Wolf went out and got 3 young corners. Mike McKenzie, who you see right here, Antoine Edwards, number 24, and Fred Vincent, number 31. They've all played a bit. They play in the nickel. And I think if you've got a veteran offense, you keep moving people around. You create problems for recognition for young guys. Of course, Ron said he went out and got him to combat Randy Moss, and they've done a pretty good job.
Done. Nowhere to go. Billy Lyon, who is filling in for the injured Santana Dotson, came through and drilled it.
Well, what's happening here is you're looking at the Green Bay Packers and looking far. Let's go defense. If I can play defense, if you let me, I'll go play. But watch what Lyon does here. I mean, they're going at the quarterback because they figure they're going to have to run. Nobody blocks him. He just wraps him up. That's perfect play.
Well, when the Bucks go to an I formation, they expect him to run. How excited do you think Brett Favre is? Cheer him on. Got that right thumb heated up just in case he needs it.
3rd and 15. Play clock at 4. They get it off in time. Dilfer under pressure, lost the ball. The Packers have it. Keith McKenzie knocked it loose and got the ball.
I'll tell you what, Joe. From a defensive end standpoint, Keith McKenzie, you talk about hustling. This guy, I mean, he's blocked. They force him to the outside, but he doesn't stop. Watch number 95, McKenzie. They push him to the outside. Now watch who comes in and knocks the ball away and then goes after it and gets the fumble.
Had 3 sacks coming in. You see him. Trent Dilfer has no idea. It's 3rd down and 13. The Bucs continue to try and convert those distances, and it's just not part of their offense very well. Brett Favre, all right.
Give me my helmet and get out of the way. First down from the 19. Levens. Straight up the middle until Lynch gets him at the 11. The Packers trying to apply the kill shot right here.
Now you think about this. If Tampa Bay's defense can once again rise to the occasion and allow them just an opportunity at a field goal attempt, they can get the ball back. They've got 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. So the defense is going to have to do their job and put it right back on the shoulders of Trent Dilfer.
And Keith McKenzie playing the left end. That's where Reggie White played. We just had him up here. He's the guy that made the sack, got the fumble.
This defense giving up 58 yards a game rushing. Dorsey Levens has 82 tonight. Lynch was right up in his face. One of the big hitters in this league. McKenzie still celebrating on the sideline. One of the great things about Lynch is not only is he a tremendous hitter, and some people describe him as an extra linebacker, he has become very adept at coverage.
And well, he's going to have to, because I really think that this is the time that you try and get the ball to Jeff Thomason, the tight end. You've not seen him really try and go to the tight end very much at all. The fact that he's not in there would make it very difficult.
Thomason has 1 catch this year. It was for a touchdown. Levens, can he get outside? He does.
Michael, I mentioned about his feet. We know how durable he is. But when you look at what he does on the sidelines, he's hit, balance, keeping your feet and your momentum going downfield. Watch this when he gets to the outside. Here's a toss. He's hit. Look at this. Keeps his balance, stays in bounds, gets the first down.
This is the area of the field that Brett Favre always loved to look for Shimura. He is out for the season with a disc problem in his neck. Levens. No space, cut down at the 5.
Still
the
got
clock is running.
Still got a chance as a defense to try and shut him down. I like the way Sherm Lewis is doing what he's doing down here. In the red area, the Green Bay Packers have not been real productive because they've missed this man, Mark Chmura. He's been a big part of what Brett Favre wanted to do in the red area. He's going to meet with the doctors this week to find out whether or not he does need surgery. I talked to him earlier at the hotel.
Well, what they said about Chmura, though, in this situation, anywhere on the field, he always knew what Brett was thinking, and Brett knew the same thing, so he knew exactly where he'd be all the time.
2nd and goal, empty backfield. Favre in trouble. Ahanitu has him, he throws. What a dangerous play by Favre, and a flag is down at the end of the play.
And that's a good call.
But what is the call? Is that intentional grounding?
It should be intentional grounding because the ball lands next to 2 offensive linemen. Even though he threw it underhand, it landed next to 2 offensive linemen, and that is not an eligible receiver in the area.
You must be outside of the tackle box, and you have to get the ball back near the line of scrimmage. I don't think the ball got close.
Look to the left part of your screen. You're going to see both offensive linemen. Now watch where the ball lands. They're the offensive linemen.
It had to get back to the 4. It landed just inside the 10. That's an excellent call. And look at what a huge penalty it is. It moves the ball back to the 27-yard line, which would make it a long field goal try.
That's one time where he wishes his quarterback would have just thrown the ball away.
Not only do you lose the yardage, you lose the down. So it's 3rd and goal now from the 27.
He would have wanted him to throw it away sooner than having somebody hanging on his arm and been able to make a good throw.
Favre sidearms that one, nearly intercepted. A couple of dangerous throws in a row by Brett Favre. Brooks had a crack at it, couldn't get it.
If he doesn't trip over William Henderson's leg, this thing hits him square in the chest because he knows exactly where Brett Favre wants to throw this football. Watch the right part of your screen. He sees William Henderson. Look at Brooks. He's cutting right in front of him and just gets tripped.
Longwell is hit from 38, 42, 43, and 49. This would be from 45. He has not missed this year. Now he has. And Tampa Bay still within 3 with 2:28 left in the game. Favre can't believe it.
He can't believe the throw that he made that got the intentional grounding. That's what he's shaking his head about. He's upset with himself because of that decision.
Remember what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers said coming into this game.
DirecTV presents.
You foresaw all this. I see things unknown.
The mystical, marvelous, magical masterpiece, Merlin. This exclusive encore presentation of NBC's enchanting miniseries, starring Sam Neill, Helena Bonham Carter, Martin Short. Don't miss this special motion picture event. All-day ticket, commercial-free for only $2.99. Merlin, now playing exclusively on DirecTV.
Hi, I'm Jim Laszlovic, all dressed up for our special NHL Center Ice edition of This Month on Sports. From Vail, Colorado, the training camp home of the world champion Dallas Stars. We'll show you the passion that drives the quest for Lord Stanley's Cup, the unique players that mind the nets, and bring you exclusive reports from Buffalo, Los Angeles, and Atlanta. We'll also see what it takes to survive as an NFL rookie and go inside the super tough Big Ten Conference. So tune to Channel 212 for all the action this month on sports.
Later on SportsCenter, could the Red Sox force a Game 5? We'll break down the new-look Rams and why was Sunday a good news, bad news day for the Broncos. Join me, Dan Patrick, with Rich Eisen for SportsCenter after the game.
ESPN Sports Century Countdown of the Top 50 Athletes continues Friday at 10:30 Eastern. Athlete number 15, the legendary Jackie Robinson. Join Dan Patrick as he profiles the most influential and courageous athlete of the century, Jackie Robinson, Friday at 10:30. And without Jackie Robinson, these two guys might never have been here. Dilfer, plenty of time. Dumps it off. Dunn is ripped as he got to the 39-yard line. Hit hard by McKenzie and Williams. And Warrick Dunn holding the left knee.
Well, the Green Bay Packers come with a three-man rush, and really Trent Dilfer has no place to throw the ball except short. Now here's Dunn. He's tackled by Brian Williams. And they just rolled him up.
Well, it looked like that left knee. Mike McKenzie. Watch Mike McKenzie come in. He hits him, and it looks like he puts his helmet right on his knee. And I think that's the shot he got. You'll see the helmet right on the knee, and it gets bent rather graphically.
And not the helmet.
This also is going to cost Tampa Bay a timeout, because when the medical crew comes out, you're forced to take the timeout, and they lose one. Inside of 5 minutes, that's what I thought the rule was.
Dilfer blitzed, and they'll blow this play dead.
Actually, it's inside 2 minutes when
inside 2 minutes.
Right, when somebody loses.
Now, he had to leave the field because of the timeout, and it looked like Warwick was going to be all right because he got up and walked off by himself, which is great news for Bucs fans and certainly for all his fans. He's a great kid.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
That was Billy Lyon who came across the line.
He almost got there before the ball did.
Brett has that thumb wrapped.
What he's thinking to himself, Michael, is that I played almost a perfect game up until this last series of downs, and I could have cost my team the game.
One play.
The Bucs need a field goal to tie, a touchdown to take the lead. Dilfer. Anthony across midfield, or rather Carl Williams across midfield. That'll be a first down and bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers trail by 3 and they're driving.
I believe in taking the time to be right, because it's a lot faster than being wrong.
I believe in taking my clients seriously. And myself less so.
I believe integrity doesn't hinder performance.
It is performance.
It is performance.
I believe we're driven to succeed.
Rich Eisen getting ready for Sports Center coming up right after we're done here at Lambeau Field. Included in their report, the Red Sox 3-touchdown performance, at least so far. Martin Gramatica warming up on the sideline. If he gets another shot, it could tie it. Tampa Bay with 2 timeouts left. Blitz. Dilfer can run. 40, 35, 30, still on his feet, stays inbounds nearly to the 20-yard line. They are within Gramatica's range, and Dilfer comes up limping.
This is an opportunity for Trent Dilfer to be able to establish a legacy of his own. We've seen Brett Favre with the comebacks, John Elway, Dan Marino. Trent Dilfer really needs an opportunity like this and deliver in it to make plays. Here he makes a good decision. Now, he's not going to outrun the world, but he does a nice job of trying to get downfield. He's been gimpy most of the night. Looked like he turned an ankle early in this game, so he's not going to outrun the world anyway.
Gramatica's hit all 3 of his opportunities. First down. All stop. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Mike Allstott, 22 yards for a touchdown. The Bucs are back on top.
Probably the most amazing thing about that play, he was hardly touched. He went right up the middle of the Green Bay Packer defense, and he might not have been down in 2-hand touch.
But he also, when you make a run like that, there's got to be somebody up front blocking for you. Kevin McLeod, the guy they just activated, number 43, makes a great block for him, and that's probably why he was untouched.
Gramatica to make it a 4-point lead and force Green Bay to get a touchdown.
Which really shouldn't be that big a problem because they've been doing that all year.
All right, Kevin McLeod, number 43, on Kuntz. Watch this. Watch this block. Right there. Thank you, Joseph, for the artwork. Here it comes. Bang. Take you inside. That's why he wasn't touched until he got into the secondary.
See, there was only one. Everybody had one hand on him.
That's right. You're right. 2-hand touch. He's not down yet.
What a terrific job. George Diaz, Frank Middleton, and Tony Mayberry. That's the 2 guards in the center have done all night.
Boy, once Allstott gets up ahead of steam, you don't want to get in the way. And Trent Dilfer has led his team downfield. His run was a huge play in that drive, and they've taken the lead.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. There's a minute and 45 seconds. The Green Bay Packers have 3 timeouts, and I read last week, and we all did, what Brett Favre said about the 2-minute drill. Forget the clock. I don't worry about the clock, and I don't worry about that end zone. I don't worry about scoring. What I do worry about is getting first downs and moving the chains down the field. When I get to the red zone, I'll get it in the end zone.
And Ray Rhodes believes that. He says, I'm not concerned about Brett getting the ball in the end zone. I know he's going to do that.
Talk about quick strikes. Tampa Bay did theirs in 43 seconds. Favre, 14 game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime. 2 this season, both victories.
These games are certainly taxing Brett's emotional state.
Mitchell and Howard are deep. Desmond Howard from the 8. To the 27-yard line. They'll start from there with a minute 40 to go. Shelton Quarles down on special teams. Allstott, the young man out of Purdue, the 260-pound fullback.
This is where you get into a little bit of a chess game between Monty Kiffin and Sherm Lewis. Monty, the defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't believe you can sit back, as you pointed out so well, Paul, all night and rush 3 or 4 guys and expect to stop him. You've got to bring some kind of pressure. 5, 6 guys, which puts a lot of heat on your secondary.
Warren Sapp has gotten to him twice. He'll be trying for a third. Favre drops it to Levens, and he lost it. Brad Culpepper did a remarkable job rushing the passer, then dropping back to cover Levens if he made the catch.
I'll tell you, this is also the time of the game. If you haven't buckled it up yet, you better buckle it up now, because I'm going to tell you, they're going to come. These guys are teeing off because they know Favre's going to throw the football.
And when we talked to both the coaches, Tony Dungy and Ray Rhodes, they said this is not a game where anybody's going to fool one another. These are a whole lot of one-on-one matchups, and that's what we're seeing now.
Brett Favre has won the first 2 home games in the final seconds. Schrader! What a throw! Oh, and Favre is hurt.
Oh, is it? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Brett Favre is holding his arm, and it doesn't look very good. Oh, what a throw. Again, you know, if you're up there, why don't you press the guy? Why don't you get a hand on him? What a throw.
Well, Favre's going to take a lick here by Sapp, number 99, right in the shoulder. Not where he fell on the shoulder. Sapp hit him shoulder to shoulder.
And that thumb has been sore the entire night, but they're down to the 31. Schrader's had a huge night. Levens. Dorsey Levens to the 21-yard line. Damian Robinson made the tackle, and Green Bay will use a timeout. It's first.
Did he just show you his feet again, Dorsey Levens? I mean, it's amazing watching this guy run.
The front 4 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in such a hurry to get to Brett Favre. With them rushing so quick and the linebackers trying to drop back, you get that 15-yard gaping area where if Levens gets in it, those feet of his will get him a lot more.
And with this much time on the clock and timeouts left, you can afford to run any play you want. 22 carries, 99 yards tonight for Dorsey Levens. Sapp and Favre have gone at it again tonight. Sapp with a couple of sacks. That time he laid a shot on Favre after he got rid of the ball.
You know, I don't know if I've ever remembered any 2 players having that much respect for the opposition. I mean, the way they talk about each other, and it's not to butter them up, Joe.
No.
It's they honestly and truly respect each other.
Well, you're absolutely right. And it's like 2 great teams that have a great rivalry. These 2 as individuals have transcended the team concept and made it one-on-one, and we're seeing both stars rise to the occasion.
1st and 10 Packers at the Bucs 21.
Go get him. You have
Here's
to.
the blitz.
Good
they
job.
pick it up. Favre with time, and that one is knocked away. Flag comes in. Kelly knocked the ball down. Intended for Bradford. Boy, that looked like a pretty good play.
Hello, he had his arm on his back, and you can't do that.
Only the 3rd penalty against the Bucs tonight.
There is no foul on the play. Second down.
If all you do is put your hand on a player, that's legal unless you grab the jersey and yank him around.
Here is the play from behind. Here's the throw.
I like the fact that the officials are working together. We're seeing 2 great teams go, and we're seeing a team of officials work together as well.
That's pass interference.
You saw it. I did not see it.
I'm telling you, he hits him while he's on the ground. I mean, it doesn't make any difference on the ground. He says it's an opportunity to catch the ball, and he hit him.
For Schrader, knocked away at the last minute.
John Lynch comes in and saves the day.
Had it on his fingertips. Donnie Abraham in front of him, and Lynch from behind.
Billy Schrader continuing to make great plays. They've lost Robert Brooks. Watch number 84. He goes by Donnie Abrams. This ball is way up high. He extends himself to try and make the catch, and John Lynch comes over and knocks it out.
What a play. Look at Lynch go up after the hands, grabs both arms, and knocks it out. Now it's 3rd down.
You got to go after him again. I think you have to.
Here's the blitz. Far for the end zone, flag down, touchdown to Freeman. Holy cow. Somehow it got past Rondé Barber. And we still have 1:05 to go in the game.
You know, first of all, there is a pass interference penalty being called. The ball would have been on the 1-yard line. But this is not only a magnificent throw, but the catch.
The blitz was coming. Favre hung in there as long as he could, launched it, and Freeman caught it.
Mike, you and I have been together 12 years. Paul, we've been together a shorter time, but I've never seen a better football game than what we're watching tonight. This is spectacular football.
And Dilfer still has 1:05 to go back the other way. The point after is good. The Packers back on top by 3. Favre has now thrown for 390 yards. If you had, you'd need oxygen too.
Tampa Bay decides they're going to go after Brett Favre, which I think is the right decision. Right part of your screen, here comes John Lynch, free runner. Favre just rears back and sails this thing in the air.
Watch where it lands.
He hangs it up.
Look at this. Look at Antonio Freeman. He screens off Barber and makes the play.
Tampa Bay's corners have not done a good job all night long. They cannot hang with these receivers. They beat them every way but backwards.
If you're not looking at the ball, you don't have much of a chance.
And Antonio Freeman, he just goes flying by Rondé Barber like he's not there.
Have the Packer wide receivers had sensational nights or what? Warren Sapp is just drained.
Well,
and he sees it slipping away again here at Lambeau Field.
Well, you know, these guys, are not just Warren Sapp, but Tampa Bay knows how important it is to win here. Not necessarily in Tampa, but here. If you're going to move to that next level, you've got to beat Green Bay here.
Sherm Lewis just loving every second of it.
He continues to celebrate, but he also pointed out to us that in a 2-minute drill, he'll call plays in timeouts or when the play is stopped. But it's basically in Brett Favre's hands to run that thing.
Listen to the numbers for the wide receivers. Freeman, 152 yards. Schrader, 158. Riddell Anthony, they need a big return. Anthony breaks loose. Across the 30 to the 35, a flag down at the end of the play. Corey Bradford makes another tackle on special teams, and this will hurt the Bucs.
He makes the tackle on special teams, and I think Smith, number 30, is holding Bradford, who also makes the play. Now, if you're going to hold somebody and get caught for holding, make sure he doesn't make the play.
And Coach Marciano was on the field.
Receiving team, number 30, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, let's take and put this in perspective, okay? 2 timeouts for the Bucs. 55 seconds. You have an opportunity to make some plays. You manage the clock well. Gramatica's been kicking the ball very well, can kick it a long way. You only need a field goal to send this thing into overtime.
But instead of having the ball at the 35, they start from the 21. The pressure now all falls on Dilfer. Complete out to the 30. What a strike that time to Jaquez Green.
You have to get everybody hustling now. Everybody hustling. Shouldn't have to be calling plays. Should call 2 in the huddle. Get everybody up to the line of scrimmage. Wasting way too much time.
First catch of the night for Green. Dilfer has this one batted down at the line of scrimmage. Stops the clock with 29 seconds to go.
Keith McKenzie.
Where I feel like Tampa Bay has to go with the football, and the Packers have to be aware of this, is the middle of the football field. You've got 2 timeouts. You can make the throw down the middle, and it's a place where you're going to be able to pick up 15 or 20 yards. That'll get the ball inside the 50. They've got to work the middle of the football field right there. That's where Trent Dilfer wants to try and get the football.
They need about 35 yards to give Gramatica a shot. 3-man rush. Dilfer down the middle, incomplete. That would have gotten them close enough for a field goal. Carl Williams couldn't hold it.
Well, I'll tell you, Fred Vincent, the young corner, number 31, makes a magnificent play. This is outstanding coverage. And, Joe, you're absolutely right. Go is in the middle. There's one-on-one coverage in the middle of the field. Look at this play. That ball was there for Williams. He should have caught it.
What a throw.
You've got to make those catches.
You bet.
This is the time of a football game when you have to make them. If you want to call yourself a championship quality football team, you've got to make those kind of catches when the ball is there.
Trent Dilfer has had a lot of criticism. That was a perfect strike that could have set up a tying field goal. And this one is intercepted. Sharper with the pick, and the Packers have survived.
You know why this happened? Because number 90, Bonnie Holiday, and those guys are hugging him on the field. He took the tackle and took him all the way back into Trent Dilfer. He never could get anything on the ball.
But Trent Dilfer should have never tried to throw the ball down the sideline. The safety is back there watching you, looking at you. You hang the ball up 35 yards down the sidelines, it's not going to get done.
Here's what I was talking about, Mike. Joe, watch number 90 on the right of your screen. Watch him. Look at the penetration. All the way back to Dilfer. He had to step back to throw the ball. Got nothing on it.
And that's a pretty good tackle he's up against in Paul Gruber. But there's no percentage here. None whatsoever in throwing the ball down the field like that outside in this situation.
The Packers will now work on the clock. The Green Bay Packers have beaten the Tampa Bay Buccaneers every game at Lambeau Field in the 90s. A bitter defeat for Tony Dungy, who hugs Ray Rhodes. A huge win for him. Brett Favre has brought his team from behind again. Our final score, the Packers 26, the Bucs 23. Coming up next, SportsCenter, Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen. All the latest news, scores, and highlights. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Solomon Wilcots, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Lambeau.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, proud to celebrate another moment from our first 20 years. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.